For real this time. We will make the clink sound with our mouths. Ready? Clink.
Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns.
Very good. I'm in the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns.
In the middle.
Oh, the girl in all my guys.
Drop their eyes.
Girl in all my guys.
I'm in the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns.
In the middle.
Unicorns.
Time for cake. Time to deliver the cookies.
So I bought one.
Time
Now you best prefer.
when the dance. Time to deliver the cookies. Get back.
We got it on.
Time.
Does it?
Get up. There we go. You've got it big full. Oh, you've got it big fully.
Unrecorded message.
You've got it big full. Click. Oh, you've got it big fully.
Unrecorded.
No, it big full.
Like sleeping. Oh, wanda.
Oh, you've got it big fully.
Like sleeping.
Come on. No, got it big full.
Like sleeping. Annoying.
Oh, you've got it big fully. Fully.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Pause for effect.
Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them.
Very good. I'm in the middle.
Unicorns, I love them.
In the middle. In the middle.
Unicorns, unicorns.
Okay.
The girl in all my guys.
Get you steam up their eyes.
The girl in all my guys.
Get you steam up their eyes.
Does this count as annoying?
Time to deliver the cookies.
So I bought one.
Time
Now you best prefer.
when the dance. Time to deliver the cookies. Get back.
We got it on.
Time.
Does it?
Get up. There we go. Keep clinking. You've got it big full. Oh, you've got it big fully.
Unrecorded message.
You've got it big full.
Click.
Oh, you've got it big fully.
And there we go. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to another Dara's Hangout Den. Of course, I am not by myself. Thank goodness, otherwise it'd be very, very difficult show. You know how hard it is to talk to yourself? Not really, because I do it almost all the time. But anyway, welcome to my guest. Obviously, they're adults, so they can introduce themselves. So I'm not going to do it for them. I'm not going to hold their hand. But if you want to start us off, Base Comic, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then, and that's pretty much it. What you do.
All right. I'm Taylor West. I am one half of the team that works on Base Comic. We make a political conservative comic strip that comes out typically twice a week. We also do a podcast with our mean tweets every week where we talk about the news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's me and an alligator.
Yeah. What's the name of the alligator, though?
Chance the alligator. Also my husband.
There
He
you
is
go.
a spectacular artist.
Yeah, and you guys your artwork is pretty nice too. So he draws both your characters, right?
Thank you. Yeah, he does all of the drawing.
And you just get to say
I
like
do most of the writing. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Most of the sometimes I let him do his own comic, his own
Right.
strip, but a lot of times it doesn't work out as well.
Oh. Well, at least you can say he tried, for that part at least. But thank you for but thank you for that.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll go with the man himself. It looks like you changed your room around a bit, because last time was a door to the side. Now it's a door behind you there, Zio. So it's been a while. How are you?
Talking about me now? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well,
Awesome. I'm Zio. Yeah, I did. I completely moved rooms.
see,
So,
there you go. Now you don't
I
have to worry about
rearranged the house. The kids got their own separate rooms. I gave up my little office space, and
Nice.
now it's my bedroom.
Well, there's some sanctuary to that. I mean,
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself other than your name, because I think.
I do nerd news, and we occasionally play video games. So that's about it.
Yeah, that's cool. What I mean, it's been a while since you've streamed a bit, hasn't it? Other than your Friday stuff.
We have our Friday thing every night at 8 p.m. Eastern time over on my channel,
Mm,
where we do the salt mines, but or gaming with a side of salt. We
mm,
mine the salt mines, but yeah. Aside from that, it's been a hot minute since I've really streamed.
mm. You're a busy man, and it's
Yeah,
understandable.
it is. It's I have to have a lot on my plate.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
thank you for the time because last time it was yeah, it was like yes, and then stuff came up, and you're like, I gotta go.
yeah,
So
yeah. My
it's all right.
disabilities hit hard sometimes.
You know what? Life's like a box of chocolate. Just don't eat the one that says, uh, not chocolate. But anyway, last but not least, the lovable toasty or brash toasty, as it seems to be, because you get a lot of hate flung at you for some odd reason.
I
How are
love
you,
it.
toasting?
I'm great.
So,
Um,
yeah, tell us a little
yeah.
about your stuff.
I'm Toasty with the Mosey 69 and I troll a little bit. I stream about everything, a little bit of body cams, a little bit of pop culture, a little bit about video games, a little bit about politics, super based. I look liberal, I look left leaning, but I'm
Uh,
not. And I think I give
no, I saw
mixes.
you throwing the based word around on your Twitter feed. Excellent.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess I get hate from both sides because
Wow.
the right likes well, the right sometimes likes to make fun of the way I look, but the
Oh.
left would they just hate me. They just
Mm,
hate what I have to say, how I think and all that. But and I also do bra streams, so
mm,
that gets a little spicy.
mm.
So that's why I'm here on Rumble. So yeah, there you
Sure.
go.
Well, I mean, with all the hate you get flung at you at that point, I mean, it's all spicy at that point because you get hunted. I've seen a few times. You've been
I mean, they try to, but I'm
right.
still here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They can't get rid of me. It's impossible.
She says with gritted teeth. "Urgh." But yeah, no, that's they because I was like they like demonetize you at one point, and then they took away your original no Twitter X account, and then it's like you just been one person after another. Blame John Toasty. Oh, well, don't blame you, John. You're not the full part of it. Come on now. But yeah, you certainly have been had a hot hate brigade. Oh man, alliteration is so hard. After you, so there's that. But no, thank you all for being here. Of course, yeah, trying to set these things up is always a challenge in itself because you get like, hey, yeah, I can do it. No, I can't do it. People's schedules are always abounding, and it's just one of those challenges. Scheduling in itself for any of the shows I do is always troubling because I do the of course, I do the Darachat, which is almost daily at this point. Although I keep the weekends to myself because I need some sanity. And then, and then, of course, is the Dara's Hangout Den, which, of course, will be something that will be a little less than I usually do because of just the next one, which is Rumble Squared, which I've been putting a bit more focus in because of the survey stuff and all that. So it's been an interesting time. But yeah, but no, thank you for coming on. It's one out of many for these things. So, but yeah, how have all you guys been doing so far? We can start
Yeah,
with
it's a night before Easter, so
that's true.
today was a busy day getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, and you guys, yeah, and you guys do your stuff every week. And how's that going? Aren't you in the creator program or no?
No,
Okay.
no, we're actually not, but I think I'd like to be.
Mm.
It does sound like a lot of streaming, though.
Yeah, I mean the total amount of hours you have to do is 30, but I mean that's a whole month, so that's pretty easy.
Well, that
Um,
might not be so
I
bad.
thought it
I
was
mean, our
200.
typical like
no,
Tuesday
that's
night stream is 2 hours long at this point.
yeah. So those
Or
things
I'm
are
sorry, 200 watched. My bad.
yeah, 200
Hmm.
watch. Yeah, so it to be in the well, actually, to get it is 30 hours through Rumble Studio. But when you're in the creator program, you have to have 30 hours in Rumble Studio. 5 of those hours have to be premium content, which I'll show you guys
Hmm.
later. And then of course, like you said, you have to have 200 hours watched. So that means other people. have to be watching your stuff, and that includes everything, like your VODs, your
Yeah.
whatever videos. But they have to be watching them. With a chance, you could get there pretty fast. That you have to see more art
Yeah.
streams. Oh,
Yeah, that's an experiment we've been doing on Fridays, and we need.
mm,
He's right. Patty's right. We need to be doing that regularly, where we just let Chance draw,
mm.
for like an hour or two, and people get to watch him do it.
Yeah.
Patty's joined us for the last one.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Patty's someone I've had on before. He's a really cool dude. Well, it's of course John as well, but it's always nice to have again like this people come return and all that stuff because it's always something to talk about at the end of the day. Because I know where to dig for it. I know where to dig for it, all of you. Um, but no, that's the whole deal of it. I don't know if they'll be adding anything more to it. I mean, I've been lucky enough, but to be honest, it's not really that big of a deal. Hey, horror stream, for me because I just tried it to see if I could do it, and here I am. It's pretty good. I love the Rumble Artist Crew. We've got some real talent. Yeah, I had Michael Keane on a while back. I know there's a few others who do some drawing as well, or there's another one, Banana, so something Banana Productions, who does some 3D art modeling for his game he's making, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
But at the end of the day, it's you got a lot of people who are doing different stuffs that are sort of considered art. I don't. Art is very finicky word because it's sort of like a all
yeah.
general purpose word, and then you're kind of out. No, but this is art. Okay, so hold on again. So you're saying that toilet with a flower growing out of it is art, but the one with the banana on duct tape is art as well. I'm a little lost.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the banana and duct tape because I was about to say, listen, somebody told me that thing was worth millions. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah. I got news, guys. That stuff is clearly money laundering. That's what
No
that
kidding.
is.
It
It's
worked.
like I don't know
It
how
sure
anybody
does.
takes a
Yeah.
banana and straps it to a wall and goes arts.
Right.
Yeah,
Made me
like you have
money.
people say, "Well, I could do that," but no, you couldn't because your name's not the guy that did it. Um, yeah, obviously that's obviously a money laundering setup that's arranged in advance.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at like John's a problematic white guy in the chat here, and he is a co-host of mine and the producer of my show. And
Uh,
he calls it an exploitation ghetto
mm,
YouTube because they demonetized me because apparently my streams were too spicy.
oh,
So they're like, "Oh no, that's bad, but we're still gonna keep like f- other videos of women showing off their bikinis and everything. They're monetized, but
Wait
you
a
can't
second.
be."
I was
And
going to
it's just
say, didn't they just like bring in people who do that sort of thing recently?
so yeah, so there is, and I play the same videos that they usually play on their like channels as well. So like
mm,
one thing would be like we like to look at women in bikinis fashion show, like that's what we look at, right?
mm,
And I had so during a live, I was going through channels, and I've noticed the same channel that I use for my streams, like the fashion shows. It's called Shift,
mm,
and they have like 1 million subs, and they're monetized. There's men in the chat gooning over these women, and
Hmm.
they're literally like you know, buying memberships. And it's just like, and I copied the URL and I sent that to YouTube. I'm like, why am I being demonetized? But you're okay with this?
mm.
No answer. They told
And
me, well, there was an answer, but they told me, oh, we can, what do you call it? If you're not part of their channel, we can't tell you why. Like, we
yeah,
can't, like, what do you call it?
confidentiality. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't tell me
privacy.
why
I
it's
don't
okay
know.
for them to do it, but not
Right.
for me. That
Mm,
kind of
yeah.
no. It would be. I can't tell you why we banned them if that was the case, but if
Mm,
you're really banning somebody out of the partner program or whatever monetization,
mm,
yet you've got other channels doing the exact same thing and you ain't banning them, and
mm,
in fact you're promoting them or something because if I remember correctly, I saw something promoting these people
mm,
recently. That's a bit of a disconnect. That's why people have a problem with YouTube in general. Is
mm,
rules for thee and not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of deal.
exactly.
And Twitch, they
Mhm.
have that same problem. Do we really want Rumble to fall into that problem?
Yeah, it's dude, that it was ridiculous. It was like I was like, okay, whatever. And then he was just like, or they were like, the agent, because we were emailing back and forth, and he was like, yeah, is there anything else I could help you with? I'm like, no, because I've asked you questions and you can't fucking answer any of them at all. So like, no, I don't need your help, dicks.
No. All questions, no answers. That's what it sounds like for YouTube.
I've
But
heard
no,
the YouTube algorithm is just dead right now, that it's an absolute mess.
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
YouTube.
they haven't prescribed any naked yoga yet, so I don't think it's that far gone.
You just have to type in the right keyword for that
Yeah.
one.
Well, that's the funny thing too is like you can harp on the bikini stuff, but it's like you have actual. I can type in naked yoga right now onto YouTube, and I can see that stuff right now. Now it probably is like 18 plus stuff, but they're still there. Like
Mhm.
they get around it with the artistic nudity stuff, and I'm just like, well,
Ugh,
that's grand, isn't it?
And
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I put my videos for 18 and plus. They're all for adults. So it's not
Mhm.
like I'm out there. I'm just like, yeah, it's for kids, blah blah. No, it's not. But like you can't even give me fucking answers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like horrible. But it's their loss. I'm doing fine on Rumble, and I did enroll myself in the creators program, so I'm waiting for them to accept me because I
Mhm.
already did the hours. So
Mhm.
there's that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you'll more likely hear something towards the end of the month because that's when they'll do the emails and stuff. But I digress. If you get the 30 hours, it's just dependent on. But yeah, it's YouTube is the finickiest thing in the world. But the problem of it is that a lot of creators will stick with it because money and reach. That's why it's mostly stuck with because where else are you going to go, right? You can't get, YouTube does three
Yeah.
things well: shorts, edited video content, and live streams. And Rumble only does live streams at this point in time. I've put shorts up, but that's a variance of difference. They don't do edited video content very well, or it doesn't get seen very well. And so that's an issue right there. And majority of the time you have a lot of creators who are used to the edited video form content, like to put some put up 2 hours. I've seen that before. Some put up maybe 10 to 30 minutes, but at the end of the day, that's one of the things they do well is they have three different things they do well, and Rumble's only doing one that's slightly well. So it's still an uphill battle to climb. uh, yeah, I mean, again, you have naked yoga on YouTube, but you can't really beat anything to that. So there is that. Yeah, it's one of those
I have
weird
a
things.
question
Mm,
for Toasty. So last night Chance exploded because he's so frustrated with Instagram. He
mm,
said that all of a sudden, like, he's getting all of these videos sent to him of women breastfeeding.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
that's another
generally
one.
like dressed, but like they just like expose a breast, and then they're doing it like really defiantly. He's like, "Is this a fetish?" He says he's told YouTube, I mean not YouTube and Instagram, like, "This makes me uncomfortable." And he's like, "But they just don't give a shit."
They
They just
don't.
keep sending
Yeah,
it to him.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, so like a
I
lot of
didn't
these
either.
yeah,
But
so
I never use Instagram, so
yeah, that's true. Neither do I.
it is a thing. Yeah, it is a thing. And a lot of the women on I know TikTok, there was like a thing where women on TikTok, even with baby dolls, they're not like real babies sometimes. They'll
Mm,
pretend like they're breastfeeding just to
Yeah.
show their breast off. So it's
mm,
like, let me show my tit without
oh,
having to like
don't
make
worry.
it
Does this
obvious
mean
that I
that
wanted to show it. You
Right.
know what I
my
mean?
TikTok algorithm is
Yeah.
now going to pick up on this conversation somehow? And now I'm going to have breastfeeding
Maybe.
videos only
Well,
in it?
Yeah.
Because
it's
I
not just
prefer my
Instagram.
D&D stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's not just Instagram. YouTube has the same issue too. YouTube has the same sort of issue too. So I mean, it's not like a algorithm thing, but you can find it there. It's just as bad as naked yoga, to be honest. But I mean, it is. The thing of it is the reason why they can get around it though is because it's educational, right?
Oh,
It's
that's what it's going
educational,
on.
just
Educational.
like the naked yoga is
Yeah.
artistic. Right, the
I
breastfeeding
wonder
stuff
how
is
many of them have
educational.
OF accounts.
Oh,
I get
I'm pretty
it.
sure if you reach, you'll find it's that easy. But yeah, at the end of the day, they use the rules that are there. But it's funny because YouTube can't apply its own rules evenly, and many are expected to follow the rules, even though they get slapped for doing things that are well. Copyright is a big one, right? Copyright on YouTube is a big one. If you do something like I was doing one of my pay it forward streams, and I came across someone who was either doing a game or watching an actual footage of the WWF or WWE. Sorry, I can't say WWF, otherwise the World Fund will come after me. But the point of the matter was is that YouTube, they hit hard on YouTube. They will you stream any bit of their stuff, boom.
Yeah, tell
They
me about it. I just looked because you mentioned it.
mm,
My last stream,
mm,
copyright.
mm,
Uh,
Yeah.
stream
Well, all of
prior to
ours.
that, not the other one was copyright. The one couple down, that one's copyright.
mm,
And it's all
Yeah.
for like little things that are purely within fair use because they were
mm.
like little snippets of a trailer or something like that.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I have to give YouTube credit though. They do give you tools to edit that stuff out within their own system. So there is that, but that still doesn't overcase that the
Yeah.
copyright system can be arbitrarily and embarrassingly out of control. But when you control the second biggest platform for a search engine, you get to call the shots, and everyone says yes, yes, we will follow that. And it's the unfortunate truth of what YouTube is. YouTube is the place where you can get the most reach and the most money if you do well. But if you go out of line, you can get slapped down to where your channel is gone for good, and YouTube will say, "We
Yeah.
don't know who you are." That's why I say multi-stream, because if you ain't multi-streaming, I don't feel sorry for you if your channel gets bombed out, and that's for any platform, any platform. But I understand why people choose a singular platform, so it is a choice. But yeah, it's very saddening. But at the end of the day, more power to the creators who do more beyond than just one place.
YouTube
Otherwise,
is a horrible place.
it's
It's
maybe
just
a
the
horrible.
biggest place.
It may be the horriblest place and the biggest place, but you have a lot of people going back to it like an
Yeah.
abused woman.
Oh yeah, that's because that's where all the money is right now.
Yeah,
That and
unfortunately.
Twitch.
Well, Twitch is yeah. Well, I thought there was like some headline a while back that said Twitch wasn't making enough money, so who knows in that
Yeah, well, they
regard.
were giving out a lot of money, so I remember the leak.
Oh yeah, what was the leak again? Remind me.
The
It's been a
leak
while.
was what the different creators had gotten paid out through Twitch.
Oh, was that the
Although I
one?
can't remember if it was ad revenue or donation
Was that the one
or
where
what.
Asmongold accidentally showed what he had earned, or was it some other content
No,
creator?
no, it was a leak of multiple people,
Mm,
and it showed how much they had earned, and you were looking at millions of dollars
I
from some
Wow.
of the top
oh,
streamers.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
because I think it was like Critical Role was bringing in like 8 or 7 million or something just alone at that time.
Wow.
And it was a
Jeez.
big
Woo.
story
Yeah.
back when it happened.
I
Because
wonder how
everyone
much.
was like, what? 'Cause you had people in like the double digits.
Jeez. I wonder how much
Ouch.
Amaranth was bringing in.
She was up there. She was in that list and she was up there. I
Oh
just
my.
don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure she was anyway. It was one of them, that or Pokimane or whatever her name
Yeah,
was.
Pokimane too. Yeah, that's another one. It's funny how people go back to Twitch too, because it's the same or sort of deal with YouTube, right? You have a lot of people that are. I think I saw some VTubers, right? That some of them were kind of hit with something because this rule or that rule.
Now, see, this is the chat you need Chad here for because he goes off about this stuff all the time.
He had his chance. Actually, it's coming on next weekend, so there's
Uh,
that.
well,
Um,
there
for
you
the
go. But yeah, I mean, it's especially the VTuber thing. 'Cause
mm,
every time he sees he's telling me about it because you got a VTuber.
mm,
They're complaining, Twitch did this, Twitch did that. I've been banned for 3 days again, or some stuff like that. And then
mm.
he'll pop into their thing. It's like, have you tried Rumble?
Have you?
And then they
Yeah.
just yell at him for it. And it's like, look, if you're going to sit here on Twitter and complain about it,
Yeah.
and somebody offers you an alternative to mix in with your current thing,
Hmm.
you know, you
Yeah,
might as
and
well just not be here complaining about it at this point. You're just going to go back,
yeah, yeah.
but
That's been.
it's playing the sympathy thing, so then
Mhm.
all the fans get riled up and all that good jazz. And
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
not looking for solutions. They just want to, cry about it.
Well, and sometimes those things is like with the quartering, right? Where my channel's under
Yeah.
tag thing sort of works for their benefit. But it's that thing where the irony is you complain about the thing that is pretty much stopping you or taking you down, but at the end of the day you'll still go back to it like it's the only thing you have. Again, an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
it's
it's a bit less of a
Yeah.
thing when you're like multi-streaming. Like you said, if
mm,
you're here, there, and everywhere, and like where we've got our Rumble, you got the YouTube up too, and I've
mm,
got like Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch that's
mm,
always running.
yeah,
And I guess the quartering multi-streams and all them
yep,
other
Yeah.
people, they multi-stream for the most part, but then they'll
mm,
do some segments and stuff that's like Rumble only
yeah,
and things. And yeah, that's the way to do it. So all your eggs are in one basket.
mm,
But there are the people who have all their eggs in that one basket. They
mm,
get banned for 24 hours or whatnot, especially on Twitch.
mm.
And then,
Well,
it's
and
like, why go back?
mhm. Well, and the thing of it too is that that I've seen from a few is that when that happens and they get their time back, like there was one creator I saw who got 7-day ban, and then was pumping Rumble until they got back, and then all of a sudden after they got back onto the YouTube thing, there was no word about the Rumble channel after that. No putting in the link for it, no mention of it whatsoever. They just went back and completely forgot about their the channel on Rumble. It's like you do understand, you do have to when you're putting out your stuff and you're multi-streaming to other places, put your links in the thing because you have to be careful on X because they will throw you off because if you put it in the first post, those links will throw you
Yeah.
off to some degree. But yeah, as soon as that person went back to YouTube, he was like, "Rumble what?" And it's just like you
I was
gotta,
really impressed with the way that you do your Daramouthe, your advertising for your streams. You've
mm,
got your thumbnails all worked out. You're doing these like by the hour updates, like it's coming up, it's coming
mm.
up. Does it work for you?
It's a mixture of yes and no, because of course I don't always pay attention much to the view numbers because you start almost about to hang yourself because oh my view numbers aren't there. But
Yeah.
the other point of it is that I'm not a professional at marketing myself. I don't know how to market myself. There's another thing there's a partner program I got into with Proton. If no one knows what Proton is, Proton Mail, Proton VPN, all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know
Mhm.
how to market that well either. I just know that I use this product and I use it well. And I enjoy using the product and I know what they're trying to do, but I don't know how to market. I don't know how to do all this stuff. I'm just here. I just try
Yeah.
things and see if it works or not. But again, I'm not real in depth with all that stuff either because I don't do this thing for those numbers. Like I don't think it's been a while since I've mentioned how many followers I've had on either side. And I'm just like, should I do it? Should I like but then I like see all these other people like, oh, I got this many numbers. Thank you so much. It's like, why? I get
Yeah.
it, but I don't get it at the same time. And for me, I'm just like, I'm stuck in this limbo of like, should I say anything or shouldn't I say anything? I'm just here to talk to people on the online because I didn't see very many other creators do it beyond the scope of talking about the news of the day, which is what it is. But it's just, I don't have the greatest answer to give because I don't know.
It looks good.
No,
I
It's
there
a
are
try.
people out
multi-stream.
there designed for marketing, so
Nobody looks at us on YouTube for our live streams at all. Like they don't get
Yeah.
any viewership, but the Twitter does. So we still multi-stream to there, and we get through Rumble Studio the views there, but we still don't get like a lot of people actually subscribing to the account.
Yep.
Just strange to me. I don't know, but like of course we're picking up people following us on YouTube through the shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube I think is still pushing shorts heavily
Yep.
Yeah,
because that's like the only traction I have over there is from shorts now.
I
us
haven't done it in
too.
So
ages. Yeah.
there's like no traction over there at all.
I put too much work into my shorts, and so I kind of got unmotivated to keep doing it. Because you could see people put out junky shorts, like some people, because I use Opus clips, if anyone knows what that
Mm,
is, and I've seen
mm-mm.
other people use Opus clips too. But the thing of it is, they put their shorts up, and they'll take whatever title's given to that short. They'll take whatever's in that video, because sometimes the video, if you look at some of their videos, you'll see like there's another camera frame in it, and there's another person kind of inching in there. They really don't take the time to kind of keep it clean, and so you'll
Mm.
you'll see people just post taken care of clips, and it's just like, I'm putting all this work for nothing. These people are getting hundreds of views. Get out of here. Forget
Yeah, it's
about it.
frustrating, right?
But I mean, YouTube's an ocean. YouTube's an ocean, and
Yeah.
you're pretty much in a small little paddle boat, or canoe, or whatever you want to call it, and you're saying, "Hey, I'm over here. Hey." You have to hit on those right notes in order to get seen by their algorithm, and I'm not hitting those notes. But then again, I know I do something that's not an everything, so it is what it is. But I mean, if you, like you were saying, like, I know I don't get much views over there, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to stream there because I've run into times where Rumble Studios hicked up. I've run into times where, actually, there was one time where, I can't remember when it was, but I was going to have a guest on, and I'd set it the day before because I'm smart like that. Um, but the the point of the matter is, I went one day, and my account on Rumble was just gone. It was just gone,
Mm,
and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so what happened? So I had to go and make, support, and then make a Twitter X post about, hey, my account is gone. I got it back, but it still went away. And so for me,
yeah.
you can't trust a platform at any point, at any time, to make sure that your stuff is there, because some bug or something may happen, and you're looking at your channel being gone, and it'll be like, oh, we got it. It's saved up. It's like, it shouldn't be happening at all. But so that's my example of why I can't just say, oh, I trust Rumble. I don't trust Rumble as much as I can, far as to throw it, because of that situation. So, but multi streaming is a safety net, and if you're a creator who can't do it because of technical issues like computer or whatnot, understandable, right? There are exceptions to the rule. But if you can do it, start, because you would be an idiot not to take advantage of all the platforms out there that offer a form of monetization. Whether you have to build to it or whether this instantly, depends on the platform, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not taking advantage of those things, I don't know what to tell you. And then you get demonetized or banned. Well, see ya.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
also depends on the content too. It needs to be of quality, just like
That's what
stream on.
happens.
Yeah. Well, quality is such a different thing for different people. Like, does it need to be high production? Does it need to be like, oh, look, I have all these nice things, or whatever? I don't give a rat's behind about, look, what you see is what you get. That's it. That's my real room. Those are real post-it notes, all this stuff. I don't have some high, like the camera here I have was like less than $100 because I got a deal on Amazon, if you get what I mean. And then of course this one, my light, I bought at Best Buy, and it was on no, I bought it on Amazon, sorry. And this was on a less deal too. Like a majority of my stuff is deal or whatever through Amazon, because sometimes they do have the better prices. But I don't I don't have the most, of everything. I don't have a souped up PC like with the biggest extreme parts. I just have this thing where I get to talk to people and use the tools I have. Like, I don't I can't match up to that. My thinking can't match up to that portion, and I can't really reach that portion because I don't give a rat's behind. I just enjoy doing this thing, and that's all that matters. Um, everyone else can do what they want, but for me, I'm
How
just
long
not
have you
gonna.
been grinding at it?
Me? Let's see.
How long have you been working out on this channel?
Um, well, I started with like posting recorded videos, and it was in May of 2023 that I started doing that. And I think it was in
Mm.
August of that same year that I started doing live streaming, because at that time, and I think you were there as well during that time, Zio, that Rumble had to have like 5 people in order for you to live stream, right? You remember
Yeah,
that.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
And so the only way you could get around that was if you bought into their pro plan, which unfortunately is still there. Like, well, no, it's still there, but they're higher tiers, not the $10 anymore.
I don't know. I
Um,
don't have Rumble Premium still.
Oh,
I've
that's
been,
another thing you need to get if you want to enroll yourself in the
yes,
Rumble Content Creator Program.
yes,
It's like
and
$10 a month, I believe.
yes, $10 a month or $100 a year, but I just do $10 a month because yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I finally decided to buy that, and then I just started live streaming using OBS and the multi plugin, which is weird for me. Okay, so OBS, right? It's supposed to be like the streamer's dream because of all the things you're able to do with it, right? You could do all this technical stuff and whatnot, all the fine details to it. Um, it's just they have to download a plugin to do multiple channels. Why isn't that part of OBS already? I just don't understand that, but it is what it is. It's free.
um, I
What?
was thinking I had an answer to that, and then I was like, no, maybe I
It was
don't.
a learning curve.
Yeah.
Well, because the other services that used to multi-stream for free don't do it anymore,
Oh,
except for OBS. If you get the plug-in
Yeah.
and figure
yeah.
out how to do it, so I don't know if there's like some kind of cost or something
Yeah. It's always a
that's
cost.
involved, and that's kind of their workaround where they don't offer the service,
Hmm.
but somebody else does, and it plugs into it, kind of deal. So I'm not sure, but because I know I used to multi-stream, using like 3 or 4 different sites at the time,
Whew.
because I would have to go from one to the other,
Mm.
because suddenly it's like, oh, if you want a multi-stream, you have to buy our premium package for $29.99, and then
Hmm.
you can multi-stream to 3 places, and if you want to
Yeah.
do more, another $10 kind of
Hmm.
BS. I'm like, well, okay, is there another free multi-stream site? And then I jumped around from place to place, and then I was like, well, they're all pay for now, so.
Hmm.
And then I think Chad was like, "Oh, you could use OBS. There's this plugin." I was like, "Well, okay, that works," and that works great. So
Yeah.
I cannot do OBS at all. I mean, I try to figure it out. I
Yeah, we
cannot.
wouldn't be able to do what we do without it.
yeah, OBS offers a lot of freedom, and Streamlabs is great.
Hmm.
Providing they actually have um what's the word I'm looking for?
Stuff.
No, they've got stuff. It's just how it like Streamlabs with it, like Twitch is integrated practically, and YouTube is integrated,
Yeah.
with it, where you can be like, okay, I want to add chat. You click a couple of buttons, and boom, there's your chat. It's
Hmm.
integrated with everything. You don't have to do anything silly with it. You don't have to fool with all this stuff. Meanwhile, in OBS, well, you've got to add an element. You've got to move the element. You've got to then grab URLs. You've got to plug them in. You've got to put these together. Oh, if you want to make your chat look a certain way, that also requires you to open it up and edit this entire other thing and all this other. With Streamlabs, it's not that big of a deal.
Hmm.
You log in, you say, I want chat to look this way, I want it this color, and then boom, there it is. It's all right there in Streamlabs, which, because it's like integrated with these other systems, the problem is they won't integrate with Rumble,
Hmm.
which is one of the main reasons I stopped using Streamlabs,
Hmm.
because, Streamlabs is great. All
Yeah.
your stuff is right there, and, it was really easy to do and stuff.
Hmm.
But because it doesn't integrate with Rumble,
Hmm.
I had to stop using it.
Well, I think they just had what was the one? Restream add them into their stuff a while ago. For Rumble, sorry.
Mhm.
Restream was just Rumble was just added into the API. It's the API, yeah. That's another story in its own right. But yeah, so there's a lot of I know StreamYards doesn't really have it. You can connect, but you can't see the chat. Sounds like someone should make a product like OBS that has a one-click function for everything. Well, I mean, there's streaming with Meld. I know that's another one, but that's still working up to where they want to get it. I guess I've not used it. I've been using Rumble Studios since it came out in beta, and that's it. It's been a
Oh,
change over time.
Streamlabs is OBS, so it's OBS Streamlabs.
Yeah,
And then you have OBS, which is like the bare bot or the bare DIY version of Streamlabs.
yeah.
But yeah,
Except,
like because Streamlabs, it was either I stream to Rumble
mm,
or I stream everywhere else, but I couldn't do all,
mm,
because
mm,
they didn't have like access to the API or something. I guess that
mm,
was the word I was looking for. Uh, like I worked 12 hours for the past 3 days. My
yeah.
brain is mush, and I got to work again another 12 tomorrow. So
Jeez. I feel you for on that one. At least, hopefully, you'll get a very long nap. But
eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I can't do OBS. I used to so when I started streaming, it was StreamYard, and
mm,
then the price was great, and
mm,
then they went up the price by a lot,
mm,
and
yeah,
for I guess like a pro membership is like 60 something now for
yeah,
StreamYard. And then I moved to
Wow.
Rumble. The issue with Rumble when I did go there is that I had a panel of people, and you could only show four people out of like what, eight? Was it eight?
9.
Nine panel.
Yes.
Yeah, nine people,
Yeah.
nine people in the
Mm,
panel. And that wasn't my thing. I wanted to create my own layout and all that, but
mm,
then I decided to look through and do my research and see what works for me. And then I came across FMU or EVMux,
mm,
and that's it. I do have to pay like maybe 50 for it, because I have the pro membership, but it's
mm,
super great. I love it. Works for me. My
mm,
audience, they love it. I have so much fun with it. I get to do, I get to edit it the way I want it to, and
mm.
yeah, just
It's basically OBS on steroids, but yeah, that's what EVMux is. But yeah, Tomby uses that too, so that's why I know
yeah.
I use that.
He helped
Uh,
me with it. Like if I had questions about it, he's like, yeah, yeah. He's the one that helped me with the Rumble thing because I thought that I always wanted to, enroll in the Rumble content creator, but it said I needed uh
mm,
the Rumble Studio to do it, and
mm,
I didn't, use Rumble Studio anymore.
mm,
I was kind of sad about it, and then Tommy's like, "Yo, you can still do it. I'll show you," and he's great.
mm. Yeah, he really knows his technological stuff because
Mhm.
you you should remember uh Zio, because you and Chad had a rant war basically over when we stopped by with him on our pay it forward stream. it was it was a very generous time for Tomby at that point. So it's like, guys, stop it, okay? It's already up to 100. Leave it alone.
And to have two characters coming from two different laptops but be visible on the same screen and stream at the same time and come from two different character animators, OBS was the only thing that we could find that could actually do it.
Mm,
Yes, I understand. Yeah, like when you have a VTuber, or when you're using like what you're using, you can't use things like StreamYard or
Yeah.
Evenlux because it freezes and it's bad. You need OBS for that. So I get as to like why you need to use that. Yeah, because
mm,
Yeah,
I have a
StreamYard
VTuber
was
myself.
bad
I
for
have a little
VTuber.
character.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like OBS is pretty lightweight. It's just very technical.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
and
true.
resource heavy on your own machine though, because it does use your stuff to stream out. Whereas if you use something like EVMux or Rumble Studio, whatever, it uses their servers to stream out
Yeah,
and all that. And yeah, they
and
still,
Studio still needs some work. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
just so everyone's aware. I
Mm,
know I'm using Studio more now
mm,
because it's getting to the point that it's getting on par with StreamYards, but it still needs work.
yeah, it definitely still needs work.
There's places it needs work in.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to share a screen and you can only show up 4 people at a time. That's one of the things. But again, that's why I also do my survey thing too, to kind of show that data, because at the end of the day, a lot of people talk, but they don't really know where people stand on personally. So, but yeah, it does still need a lot of stuff. But it again, at a point, it is free. Unfortunately, I've not heard of any other platform that has its own broadcasting software, because I'm not seeing it. And yeah, it has its issues, but for multi-streaming
What's
to
really cool is setting up like OBS
Mhm.
to stream through StreamYards. I
Yeah,
found that was pretty great, especially for gaming and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
It's a lot better than that. Or gosh, what is this thing called again? Studio.
from a studio. Yeah.
It's really bad at picking up gameplay, apparently, from my experience. So,
Mhm.
learning how to use the ingress and to pump it through OBS, so OBS is actually capturing it and then pushing it into StreamYard
Mhm.
Studio here,
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, works so much better.
Well, and that will change with the new RTMP thing that's coming out. So the new thing that's going to be coming out for the OBS thing is to be able to directly link it through uh, into Studio rather than it just being like an ingressing into the Studio.
Hmm.
So it's basically instead of like how what's the best way to describe it?
Hmm.
Instead of like latching it to a bracket and then latching that to something else, is basically taking that line from one building to the next straight forward instead of just like
Yeah,
the middleman
instead
sort of
of
thing. Yeah,
putting it through a separate thing and
yeah, because
making its own little thing.
Rick did a test not too long ago, and it looked like clear quality. So I'm not sure if anyone saw that, but yeah, it will definitely be interesting when they add that. But yes, Studio has a lot of things. I don't think it'll ever be what EV Mux is, but at the end of the day, you pay for what you get with stuff like EV Mux and StreamYard and whatnot.
I mean,
And
heck, if they were to come out tomorrow and said, "Hey, we have all the functionality of StreamYards and
mm,
then some, but you have
mm.
to pay for premium," I would actually drop money on the premium
Well,
just for that extra functionality.
yeah, that
So,
may be a thing that comes
I
later
mean,
on, but it will be a lot more than $10.
I hope it's not more than $10. Jeez, everything else is going up. I've already had to drop 15 things.
Yeah, 15 things. What kind of money were you spending on what?
Well, clearly, I don't know. If you don't know this, apparently I was paying for like 5 different Netflix subscriptions, and because
Oh,
I got Rocket Money, I found out.
yeah,
No, but seriously,
you got rocket money.
sorry,
What?
sorry, no, I don't. I don't.
You you've been holding out.
I
What?
happened to see an ad for whatever the hell it is
Uh
earlier, and I every time I see it, I'm looking at it like, how dumb do you have to be to sit there and pay for like Disney Plus
huh.
3 times in the same month and not notice? Like,
Yep.
what kind of money are you making to not notice that big purchase coming out of your account every time? My
Yep.
account's at zero all the time. I wonder why that is. What's up with all these $30 charges from Disney Plus?
Mhm.
I mean, and the commercials like, find out all the subscriptions you don't know that you have, and it's like, how do you not know these things? Like,
Yeah.
what do you people do? This is clearly an app for rich people, I guess,
Well, you
because I
probably
don't
didn't know a
know
bunch of
normal people using it.
Mhm.
some streaming services let you put your payment every month on your credit card.
Mhm.
So if you're somebody that's not checking your credit card payments,
I mean,
Ah,
that maybe that's it. This is like you're getting it taken out of your debit
yeah,
card, and you've got for whatever reason you also signed up a second time on your credit card, and then you
ooh,
signed up a third time on your credit card, and you just don't notice.
oh wow,
But
that's a real possibility.
you know, and it's sad.
mhm.
It's sad when you think about it because it is a possibility, but I don't understand how anybody could ever do that. I just don't get it.
Well, it's at the end of the day, all the streaming services are just are just luxuries. It's all luxuries at the end of the day, and people seem to have enough money to pay for it, even though things are getting tight or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the only
But
thing I got is Hulu at this point, so which
yeah,
15 different people use. Then I get Netflix from my parents, so my
mhm,
kids can watch that, and uh,
yeah,
yeah, I think that's about all we have now. I had to cancel the Disney Plus; it got way too expensive.
yeah.
Crazy.
I just think when people are trying to find out like what's why is things costing so much, whatever. I think you should look at the luxuries you have first before you start hitting the things that are most necessary. Because I think a lot of people, yeah, I get it, Disney Plus, great, ooh, old Disney movies, oh yeah, Netflix, sure, great, but at the end of the day, do you really need either or of those? I mean, there's a lot of things we can talk upon what's really needed or not, but there's a lot of money wasted on luxuries, and unfortunately, we're at a point where we can't all afford those luxuries, especially if you're talking like donating to your content creator or whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
wish I could throw out hundreds like I had it, but no. Uh,
Yeah, me too.
I remember. I remember. At least once, long ago, Zia was able to do it once. Um,
Listen, it made me feel good that night.
yeah.
Felt like a high roller for the first time in a long time.
And beating Chad was one of them. I
Yeah,
understand. I
yeah, yeah.
understand.
Well, sometimes it's gonna happen.
As the song goes, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah, that's right. And then inflation happened, and I'm just like, fuck.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. Yar, like a pirate. Uh, I pay for
Yeah, I mean that's
VPN.
what I'm doing with Nintendo. I'm just saying.
What are you paying for these like online game thing, or what is that for the Nintendo?
Oh no, I do pay for that. It comes out every year at around tax season, so I don't really notice it.
Ah,
Uh, but I know
ah,
that it does come out because I look at it and it's like $59.99 for Nintendo Family thing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
nice.
I forgot I do pay for that, like every March. So,
Hmm.
which is fine because the way I've set up my finances, it's not like it's going to surprise me that it
Mm,
happened and like put me in the negative or anything.
right.
Right.
Tax season comes around, and I put it in to my bills account, and
Mm,
then I don't touch it because the bills account just has bills that come out on time.
yeah.
But no, aside from that, the big Nintendo thing is the Switch too. So,
Oh.
if you want to make like Luffy, be my
Mm.
guest because I will not stop you for anything Switch 2 related at this point. Nintendo has decided that they have gone all greed, I think, at this point, because they've decided to throw away the economic family thing that they're known for,
Mm,
being that economic or ergonomic or whatever it is, choice in the console market. And
yeah.
they're trying to compete with Microsoft and Sony.
Ah.
And yeah,
I thought
I
they were
don't know
done.
how it's going to go. I think it's going to go like Disney.
Mm,
So they'll have so much goodwill that they can be fine for a while, but
mm.
they're going to eventually, I guess, start taking hits here and there.
Nintendo. Oh goodness. No. Yeah. What is it? I don't. I thought Xbox was done making Xbox stuff, as far as I remember. Like they weren't going to make any more
I thought
consoles
so
anymore.
too.
Yeah.
Not really sure if they're going to or not. I mean, when it comes down to it, the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 are already the same thing as a PC.
Yeah.
It just has
Basically.
its own hard, or it's got its own software, right?
Yeah.
Its own OS.
Mm,
Um, but Xbox owns, PC
mm,
too, right? For the most part.
Right.
So because it's Microsoft and they've been, uh, you know, putting all this stuff together. So if you've got like Game Pass, for instance,
mm,
it's the best thing on the console market, if you ask me. I don't have an Xbox, but if I did, I would
mm.
definitely pay for Game Pass because I'd have it on my PC
Yeah.
and my Xbox.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it just depends on if they want to stay in the console market or not. But there was been rumors of them wanting to get out of it, but at the same time, they still have a lot of console fans. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to actually do that.
Well, and that comes with the thing like the Switch is sort of like a bit like the Steam Deck in a way. And yeah, of course, the Steam Deck cost a bit, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, it. I think that's where if they're going to keep on with consoles, that's where it's going to go to is a mobile form of being able to play on the go. And Steam Deck is kind of up there for that. I think that's the next point of because you can't at this point you with the technology growing as is, you cannot stay at the the bulky, on the ground, staying at home
But they can.
console
That's the thing.
for a little
You
while.
know, Sony and PlayStation will have no problem doing that. I know PC has grown exponentially over the
Mhm.
past several years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
console gaming is still huge. You know, people just don't seem to realize. You know, there are people who, you know, they are the console peasants or whatever it is you want to label them or whatnot.
Mm.
You know, meanwhile, anyway, so but yeah, these people, there's a lot of them. And they're not going to go out and suddenly buy a PC because they're still going to look at it and it's like, well, the console's 700 and a new PC is over 1,000. Plus, you have to buy the monitor. Plus, you have to buy the speakers. Then you've got to buy the keyboard and the mouse, all separate, mind
Mm.
you, for the most part.
Mm.
You know, console is still going to be kicking it. I think there's going to be a next gen console on both sides. You know, Sony
Mm.
and PlayStation, or Sony and PlayStation. They're the same people. Sony and Microsoft.
Right.
Brain still mush. You know, but they are going to dabble in other things because you know you've got Sony with the VR. Sony, I heard rumors of them trying to get back into the handheld market.
Right.
Then they made that failed thing they did with the PS5.
Right.
That kind of, you know, that mimicked a handheld without actually being a handheld.
Hmm.
But Nintendo right now, you know, they've dominated that space, and Nintendo fanboys are very rabid. So, you know, I
Any
think
fanboy.
Nintendo is one of those. It doesn't matter what they're doing; they're still going to sell and move product,
Yeah.
which really sucks.
Especially when they have exclusive characters to their system. You're not going to find Mario. You're not going to find Zelda. You're not going to find Samus or Kirby or all those on any other system because they're all Nintendo, especially Smash. If they, Smash will still be
Yeah,
one of those
to
things
be
too.
honest, I think that's the only thing that's really keeping Nintendo alive. As much as I would love to play Breath of the Wild on Steam or something,
Yeah.
you know, I think Nintendo knows the only thing that's really keeping them alive right now is the fact that the Switch is a lower price system
Hmm.
and their first party titles. That's
Yep.
it. Because anything else that comes out on the Switch or the Switch 2, I'd rather buy it on PC or PlayStation 5.
Right.
Like,
that's.
there's no reason for me to play it on the Switch whatsoever. The Switch is underpowered. The
Mhm.
Switch 2 is still underpowered compared to the other systems.
Yeah.
The memory on it is just, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch 1 came out with 32 gigs internally, and it's just like, Nintendo, why?
Yeah.
And every time I buy a terabyte SD card to put in it,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. For
Interesting.
whatever reason. I went through 5 different SD cards, 5 different brands,
Hmm.
because I'm like, well, I'm going to upgrade my my memory for my Switch
Yeah.
because you know, what I had is, what is it, a 64? I think is what I have in it right now, which
Oh.
happens to be a Nintendo brand one,
Right.
which I didn't want to buy, but that's just how it happened.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to get the bigger memory because it supports up to 2 terabytes of memory.
Oh wow. Jeez.
But every single one I put in there, I would start downloading things and transferring the saves over and all that stuff because Nintendo has a good way of doing that.
Mm.
And then after I start to install like the 5th or 6th game or whatever it is, it would then tell me, you know, the memory has been corrupted. The stick is corrupted. It can't do the thing. Every single freaking time and I've given up.
Jeez.
I'm not going to. It's like Nintendo has set it up to where it's going to corrupt no matter what it is, unless you buy the Nintendo brand version of their memory, right? Which cost 5 times as much as it should.
Jeez. That's insane. And it's just, and the anime guy brought this up, Nintendo. That reminds me of the old, not commercials, but the old advertising that Sega did. Sega does what Nintendo don't, I think it was.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, unfortunately, Sega no longer has a console, so I guess Nintendo did what Sega couldn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
unfortunately.
there's that part.
Sega was a bit ahead of its time, just like the Dreamcast was, and
Yeah. I
Then the
remember.
Dreamcast didn't put any protections in,
Yeah.
which really fucked it over. So,
Ooh,
you
jeez.
know.
Way back when I worked at Best Buy over the summer, I was encouraging a lot of people to buy Sega Saturns, and I felt a little guilty about that ever since.
Mm.
Just
It's
knowing
like,
back how the way it
listen.
went.
I know you're looking at this Xbox. Let me tell you. Have you heard of the Sega Saturn?
Yeah,
Let me tell you, this thing
I know.
revolutionized the gaming industry. And if you get the CD attachment,
There you go.
oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, no one wants to take my gaming advice.
I mean, I think that's great advice. I'll
Goodness.
go ahead and grab myself a Sega Saturn long before I get a Switch 2 at this rate. So,
Hey, Jack.
Yeah, it's just the way things worked out.
That makes you. Oh, so they
yeah.
do support SSD. Oh, wow. Well, that makes sense because I mean that you can probably, what is it? You can probably change bits and pieces out from the Steam Deck. I've never tried, but I'm not rich.
Well, I don't have a Steam Deck, but it is on my list of things to eventually buy. So,
Hmm.
and the base model of the Steam Deck is cheaper than the Switch 2. So,
There you go. I think it was like $5.99. I think it is, isn't it?
the base model of the Steam Deck, I
Yeah,
think it's $3.99.
three. Oh, gosh dang it. We'll look it up after. But anyway, it is the top of the hour. So, and what I do is I set aside some time for us to, for me and my guests to promote ourselves because
Yeah,
obviously
$3.99.
3.99. Well, all right. Well, we'll bring that up later. But but anyway, I set aside some time for me and my guests to promote each other. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna turn into a snake later. But yeah. So obviously, we have three other different people here. So we'll start with the toasty with the mosty. If you want to take it away, links are down in the description, by the way. But go ahead.
Promote myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get
Um,
if you get the skills to pay the bills, I mean, why not?
I like I said, I'm toasty with the mostly,
Mm,
stream on Rumble, on X, on Twitch, on YouTube,
mm,
and I do spicy streams, but I'm also pretty based. So don't let the piercings and tattoos and the bald head fool you. So
mm.
there you go.
I wasn't fooled for a second. I'll slip the 50 under the door so you can get everything else. But anyway, Zio, go ahead.
Like, I am shiny.
I'm gonna start singing that song from Moana if you don't get to it. No.
Anyway, I am Zio of Zio Gaming, where I talk about nerd news and occasionally play video games. You can find me on Rumble, X, Twitch, YouTube.
TikTok.
My X account is ZEOTGT if you want to go see me say stupid things. And I have a TikTok. Yeah, that's right. I have a TikTok too. If you want to go see me do really cringy things. And let me tell you, there are some very cringy videos that I have done
Uh-oh.
on the TikToks, with those challenges and shit. Let me tell you,
Oh.
it's pure
No.
cringe. You're going to love it. But every Friday
Too
night at 8
embarrassed.
p.m. Eastern time on my channel, you can join myself, D-Pad Chad, and Meg as
Mm.
we mine the salt mines with Gaming with a Side of Salt, where we go through the week's news and gaming stuff. And we talk about things and we shit on things, and then we occasionally react to some things and sometimes play other random things too. Because that's what we do.
You should call it the Thing Show.
The things. There are things with things and sometimes other things. And this last one, we spent over an hour talking about Marathon. If anyone's interested in that, and just, talking about how bad the colors clash with everything. Because Concord 2.0 is just right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
So let's see how that goes.
I actually thought you were talking about the gas stations, but anyway, apologies
No,
for
not
that.
the gas station. I'm talking about Bungie's new game.
Oh, yeah.
Premium looter shooter that is going to go and face off with Torgoff, right? But it's also going to cost probably around the same amount as Concord did.
Mhm.
And it's going to have even less than what Concord had available when it launched. So, and we saw how well that went.
I
But
was
yeah,
just thinking how that red and blue and white really don't work well. They may work well on American flag, but that was not the
listen,
secret sauce.
it works great for the developers test
Uh,
playground, the level where they test shit and stuff. But
yeah.
no, it's a stage, and things are really weird colors of red, white, and blue, and they look like they should be debugging stages. So
Mm, yeah. But yeah, that's I've not even touched any of those games because I don't have much time to do. So there is that. Of course, based comic. You can go ahead. Are you there, base comic? Oh, I think she froze up. No! Don't freeze! No! Curse
wait,
you!
wait, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Uh,
Blink
no,
once
I
if
just
you can
the
hear
my
us.
yeah, the
Twice if
internet's
you
coming
can't.
in, popping in and out. Blink, blink,
Okay.
I'm here.
I don't know. That was like two blinks,
We
I
see it.
think.
She's alive, thank goodness. Okay, go ahead, based.
All right, I am Taylor from Base Comic. We put out comics a couple times a week, usually. Sometimes once a week. We have a general free comic called Base Comic. We also have a subscriber only comic called Pod Life that is about the history of the failures of communism.
Mm,
Currently doing a big series on the social credit system in China.
mm,
And what I'd really like everybody to find us on is on Rumble because we're base comic everywhere you look. So it's TikTok and Twitter and Instagram everywhere. It's the base comic channel and tag. And if you look that up on Rumble, we could use a lot more subscribers because we can't even try out the creator program until we get a little bit more up there.
yeah. Yep, I have to
But
have
we
them.
are also doing a promotion this month for anybody that signs up for our newsletter, which is free. Then
Nice.
I'm going to choose a name at random to give them a new shiny metal chance pin.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How shiny though? I want it to be like if a light shines on it, I want to blind the person in front of me. So
nice. It's
Yeah, kind
cuter.
of like my
They're
forehead
really
right now.
cute.
well, okay, Zio. It's not. You're not shiny enough though. You have to polish that like it's a mirror. Like I want to see my face in it. If I look into your head, I want to see my face and say, "Perfect." Um, but yes, all their links are down below in the description, whether on Rumble or YouTube. It's both there. So if
Yep.
you want to see where their stuff is at, all their stuff, go ahead and check them out. If they're worth a follow too, why not? Why not?
Right.
Because I don't tell people to go follow someone because that just sounds off to me. You gotta earn those follows.
Now
Just
just
like
come over and hit the follow button and be okay.
Yeah.
I
Don't
got
look at anything. Just go follow and then show up once in a while.
I got a candy apple here, everyone. You want candy apple? Press the follow button. Come on. No, I don't. But anyway, for my end of things, because I do try to let my guests go first and leave myself last. It's not because I'm the best, okay? It's just because I want my guests to go first. Trying to be hospitable here, all right? But anyway, whether you're on the Rumble side, whether on the YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because at the end of the day, not only does it help in being seen more, obviously, but also like every other content creator here, like these are content creators, they want to be seen more too, right? But the other part is in having other people on as guests, like all these wonderful people: Tomby, Jack Tarlad, Problematic White Guy, AK John, the Anime Guy, so many other people. And just to forewarn, I am coming up on my 200th guest. Sometime next week, you'll find out who that is. But not yet. But also, again, I'm on both Rumble and YouTube. Any help with that engagement is much appreciated. And also, of course, I have a link down below that will go to like Twitter X in there, and I
A
have a
link tree.
yeah, it's a link tree, yeah, and email, and then of course like a thing for Discord, but I only use it for DMing because uh, I'm not one of those people that has a Discord because that's a little too much social stuff for me to have to do. I don't care. I just do my things because that's a much bandwidth I can handle, and of course. Uh, and of course, yeah, again, that's for help with engagement and link down below on either. I'd much appreciate that. And of course, I do one more thing too. Like I said, oh gosh, I have to bring this thingy up. Why do I have that? Goodness sake. Of course, again, I am doing this. Oops, don't minimize that. I am doing these surveys. I know pushing them hard until the 23rd. Again, I did them last month. You guys got to see the results of that data and all that stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it is because, yes, I'm on there too. Yep. Yep. Thank you for that, problematic white guy. Oh, only my YouTube stuff though. That's only just mostly YouTube. But I don't count. What do you mean you don't count? What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't count? I see you right here. Well, that's your Discord. You do for a lot of other.
He's just
there's
like
that.
plugging himself in. That's what he's trying to do.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I just use Chad's Discord all the time.
there you go. But yes,
I got one. I just never use it ever.
but goodness sake. But yes, I'm still doing the surveys. They're going until 23rd. So here's the creator one. That's going until that's if you see yourself as a creator, whatever, on Rumble. Again, this is for collecting data on Rumble that people have issues or wish list stuff on. Did that last time. Next Saturday is the Rumble Squared, and that's where I gather a bunch of people with me. We kind of go over their stuff, and then of course this survey stuff as well. That's for the creator one. I gotta get the viewer one up because my help person's not here. And here's the viewer one as well. If you haven't taken them already, uh, every bit counts. Again, I know they're a bit long, but these are living surveys, and they'll be changing every month depending on the data of the previous month. So do not think that those questions are going to stay there. It will change over time. It will get better over time. Also, if you view yourself as both creator and viewer, guess what? You can take both. All right. I know you watch and then create and all that stuff, so that's fine too. But there is that. Again, going till the 23rd, every bit counts. And I thank all who've taken it so far. So I appreciate that. And of course, the last thing I'm doing is something that was just recent. If I can find it, where'd I put it? Where'd I put it? Oh man, don't say. Oh, there we go.
This thing is 9 pages long, Dara.
I know. That's why I'm saying that I apologize. Okay.
Ah,
If you if you
nine
if you saw the
pages.
results if you saw the results of the last one, you would understand a bit. But again, they won't be like that for next one. Okay.
I
I
know. I'm
promise
just
you
giving
that.
you a hard time.
Yeah. Is
I'm
that
with you. I don't like to read unless it's Rumble like chats, Rumble chats, and
oh that's a little more that sounds a little shallow though. If it's just like to read the rants, that's a little shallow though. A
I mean, I don't
little.
like to read. What am I supposed to tell you? I only buy books that have pictures and not words.
Yeah, it's fine. I can't read either.
I don't have that kind of trouble. But
Yeah,
because I
well, it's a
can
product of living in the South.
Audiobooks.
I live up in the Midwest. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah, listen, I have to count using my fingers and toes, thank you.
Do you have
Like,
10 fingers
literally,
and 11
across
toes?
the mountains is West Virginia, and you don't want to know what they do with each other over there. Trust me.
Yep. But yeah, I think I'll leave that one to its lone self. And also, the last thing I have is something I got into recently, and that is the proton thing. So yes, I know it seems like a sellout thing, but I do use the product myself. And what it is there was a bunch of different links they gave me for the partner program thing, but I just focused on the one because too much to too many people, I don't get messy. But I use this product for a while. I use a bunch of different ones of their stuff, but Proton Mail is sort of is one of their products that Abe, you can read. You definitely can read. I know you can read. I've had you on before. But yeah, the best part about Proton is, and I had to kind of like go over stuff because I'm trying my best. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to promote well. I'm just doing this thing. Oh, here's a funny story, right? So when they were promoting this thing for their partner program, they did it on Twitter X, and I was like, okay, I'll see if I can get into it because it was just a fluke, right? Like I thought I wouldn't get in because partner programs usually like have to be like lots of numbers, lots of different views, all this stuff. How many platforms are you on? Like some of the questions they asked, I answered, I don't know, because I
Mhm.
really didn't. But so I went to try it and I put in my thing, and they say, 24 to like 72 hours, you'll get an answer back or not. And I thought, well, I probably won't get in, but I'll try it anyway because why not? Something never to do, right? It's not about the money; it's just about trying something. I can read pictures. That's not helpful. That's not helpful.
I can read pictures too. Who needs
I
words?
I can read braille. Uh, but but at the end of the day, like 24 hours after I did it, because it was over the weekend, they sent me an email back saying you're in. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. You're you're saying I'm in? I don't know. I don't know what said that for me, but okay, I'm gonna try this thing.
So
So
go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
no, but yeah. So here are the few things I kind of because I wanted to keep it simple and ready. So here's a few things that the email thing of their side does. So first things first is that when you get an email from like a company or whatever, like promo emails, they send you emails with sort of like this tracker thing. Tasmi, do the heavy reading. I feel sorry for you. I really do. Um, and she's the one who has glasses. But yeah, I the first thing is email trackers. So these promo emails come with an email tracker, and I had to learn like what is this. But what Proton does is they kind of clean those things from that, so they that if you were to open those emails, whatever, the company can't tell if you did or not. So that's one of the things they do. What the other thing they do is they actually. So the funniest thing is, if you if you get like one of the higher tiers, whatever, you get to be involved where you get these throwaway emails, like alias emails. So if you say like make an account on Facebook, right? You can use an alias email instead of your actual email. Like you could make unlimited emails that will redirect back to your email, basically. And I figured that was pretty awesome. Um, and that's one other thing they do so that protects your email and stuff, your actual email. And then the other thing is that they actually help with catching scammers before they even get to you. So there's one thing where and I've seen this before, the what was it, they so sometimes you'll get an email and it'll say this email may be a spam or phishing, yeah, phishing. And you you know, I for me for using Proton, I would rather use that over because I have AOL and iCloud, and I would rather use that over the other ones because and Gmail, obviously, because if you have YouTube, you have to have Gmail. Thanks for that, Google. I really appreciate that. Um, but yeah, I use it because it helps with things. And again, it's when again, it's just I'm trying my best with this thing to try to promote the product because I use the product. It's not because if anyone remembers Billy Mays, right? Billy Mays sold like the OxyClean and some other products, but you would always say I wouldn't promote a product I didn't use, and I take that method in saying because I use Proton Mail. Um, so if you were to click on the link, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to do this. If you were to click on the link and I'll show you what it comes up to. Because again, it's not like gonna charge you anything, but this is what it comes up to, right? So that's what you'll see when you come to it. Obviously, they'll give you all the shindig. They'll give you more stuff than I gave you because there's a lot of technical stuff that I am just not good at. But but the other part is that you can try it for 30 days free, and you don't have to pay anything for it. You can cancel even before the 30 days. Um, and again, like I said, they have different plans off state plan stuff for either monthly or every year. And again, I'm just promoting a product that, yes, I'm in their partner program, but I also use it too, so I know how it goes. And I'm glad for it because they are very high on the privacy and security thing. So again, sorry I was so long winded, but it's just trying to explain that it's not about the money; it's about promoting a product because I'm in this program. Came from Prayer uses ProtonMail as do I. Oh yeah, see there you go. See, I have someone who backs me up for he doesn't use my Proton Mail though. Doesn't use my Proton Mail, but they have a whole Hortman stuff. And again, you can try it free, not pay a dime at all, and you can have a free account, not pay a dime at all. It's just promoting this product because I am part of the partner program, and it's probably the only one I'll be doing because it's a lot weighing on my mind because I don't know if I have to sell a certain amount or whatever. So But anyway, thank you for hearing my trying to promote something because I'm bad at it. So, but yeah, I
I
figured
use
that.
Proton, the free version, and it's great.
Yeah, see, I mean,
Dara's right.
yeah,
Mm.
I just they have other products like VPN and password manager
I have
and
the VPN and I just got it and I don't like it at all. It
well,
keeps I don't know, it just whenever I have it on, it just lags the crap out of my streams. I don't know why.
well, you are going through a VPN, so I mean, it depending on what the server you get, depending on like the percentage. Like if it's the higher percentage, the worse the upload download. I think it is. So that's why I try to look for the lower. That's why I don't go the automatic route because you can connect automatically, right? You can have them do it for you, but if you look through the list, you'll see like a percentage to the side, and it'll say like 80%, 75%, 40%. I usually go for the ones that are lower because the ones that are higher mean they're very busy. They're very loaded with other people using it. So that's why you should look through it first, and all that
Um,
stuff. But even then, even if you use a VPN, yes, it probably could, you know, do that thing where it could bugger up your system a bit, but you're using a VPN. So it's difference between going straight and then through like different servers. But yeah, it's again they do offer free stuff too, but check it out. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to pay any money for it. If you did, I thank you anyway, because yeah, and yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate you putting through my long windedness.
That's cool.
I when they had emailed me that I was in, like that I had been accepted, like, okay, hold on here. You're asking someone who probably doesn't have the big numbers like you're probably looking for, and you're saying I'm in. Okay. All right. How am I going to do this? Because I'm at that point where I'm like,
Make sure that link is in everything.
everything. Billy Mays here. Yeah. Well, tonight I'm selling Chipotle proof underwear. Uh, don't tell me what you had, Abe. Don't tell me what you had.
I've still never had a Chipotle.
I've had it a few times, but
I
it's
don't think we have
expensive.
them here, so
Yeah, it's expensive. So probably the best you don't have it.
everybody raved about Chipotle for the longest time, and we
The
just
only
don't have one.
Well, the only Chipotle you'll rave about is the night after the time after you have Taco Bell. That's really I can't get
I
up.
like Taco Bell, thank you.
You like it so
Which
much you
one
go
costs more, Chipotle
Chipotle.
or Qdoba?
I don't
Ooh,
even know
I
what
don't
that
know.
is.
I would think both. I've
Both the
never been to
same.
Qdoba. I've never been to Qdoba, so I don't know. Which is awesome. Yeah, I think they've mentioned about something that too, but that's longer down the road. Um, but I don't know. I've never been to Qdoba. I've heard of it. I have heard of it, but I've never been to it. I've only been to
Well,
Chipotle.
I know they're advertising right now. They do not charge extra for their queso, which Chipotle does.
Oh,
No
like
charge for queso?
¿Por
Yeah, that's
qué?
right. That's what they're trying to undercut them.
That's kind of got me sold. I don't know what it is, but it's got me sold. I like queso.
So what you're saying is, Zio, is that you're a bit easy.
Yeah, that's right. You give me some good cheese.
I need to put a 10 next time in the I need to do a $10 rumble rant just saying, hey Zio, you need to say this.
And then I will struggle to read it.
Why is this one? Why are you saying tell me to say fart sandwich? What is this really about? Yes, he said
I'd be like, Chad, read that.
Well, if you're making him read it, I can't get up. Hey. This is not my life alert time, all right? Don't try to throw that on me. I can't get up. Goodness sake. But no, that'd be pretty if he has to read it, I'm gonna give him something nice just because you can read it. Like, what does that say, Chad? It says you are an idiot, Zio. No. No money for you. Can't really do that though. Um but yeah, just I don't know. Qdoba. There's one place though. I have a sibling and their partner who live near Cincinnati, and there's a place. It's a taco place. Well, so there's this park called Summit Park or Summit Plaza, one or the other, and it used to be an old uh, used to be an old airplane field or something like that. And
Mm.
so it's now a park place that has it's very big. You know what? Actually, no. Let me bring it up because I think it doesn't park. I think it needs to be shown. All right, there we go. Um, no. Nope. Nope. Oh, I have to do. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ah, there we are. Oh, yes, here we are. Oh, that looks good.
And whatever Dara did just
Let
like
me
killed
show
his
it.
frame rate.
What? There you go. All right, that's Summit Park right there. And it's
Mm.
you can see like it has a what? Oh, get out of here. Um, so yeah, a big park. That's part of it. They got restaurants there. There's one restaurant uh, we like to go
Fancy
to.
places.
Oh yeah, here we go. Restaurants. Where is it?
Pretty.
Aha, Tahona. Tahona is a very uh if we can get there. It's a very Mexican
Oh,
place. They sell these kind of tacos, right? And all that stuff, which is really, really good. It's still a bit much, but they sell pretty well. And it's just like they have an outdoor area, an indoor area, and you can buy these kind of, you know, taco truck kind of tacos, basically. Um, yeah. I know.
all
I'm
right.
trying.
So you saying Summit Park is like one of those little food parks that has like a whole bunch of different places and indoor outdoor seating?
The Tahona does, but it's part of Summit Park. Summit Park is this right here. You see all that? That's
Yeah.
Summit
Oh,
Park.
okay. So it's a huge park.
Yeah, these buildings right here are where the restaurants are at. Yeah, it's a very big park. Like that's their
Wow.
tower right there. Now, unfortunately, they did have to close down the tower because there were some people who were throwing themselves over, and so so they had to shut it down and put up fencing and stuff. So hopefully, the next time I go, it's there, but or I can go up. But yeah, it's not fun when that sort of stuff happens. But I'm trying to find map. Trying to find a map. Oh, okay. That doesn't help. Um, I'm trying to
Well,
find a
that's
map.
how you find it.
I'm trying to find the map of what it looks like. But that might not help me either. But yeah, I mean, it is really, really big, and we
Yeah.
like going there
Woo,
once in a while. But yeah,
huge.
Tohono is just part of the restaurants to that um thing. Like they had a dog. I can't remember what it's called. They have one that's called the Senate. They have one that's like the dog place or something like that, and then they have an ice cream place and the whole sort of stuff. It's just a lot of nice restaurants to eat at. Although eating out is quite expensive, so there's that.
Yeah.
Phrasing. Okay, all right, Triguma. Okay, hold on. Goodness sake. Um, Uh, Smart Park. And I think we could do an overview of uh, um, on a map. I think you should do it on a map. Map two. No, nope.
They have
Two.
an ice rink?
In the winter.
Jeez. You cities and your awesome looking places.
Well, yes, it's big. Um, oh, that's right. I have to go to Google, Google Maps. There we go. Just so I can look at it. There we go. All right, and then, all right. Gotta search Summit Park, Ohio. Oops, that's a little extra. There we
Alright,
go.
I got it. It's pretty neat.
Right. Here we go. And now bring it up
Did you
and
find
bring
it?
it.
I found it.
Yes. There we go. Yep. So this is Summit Park right here.
Alright. On the
Um,
upper right, hit the satellite view.
satellite. Is it this one?
It's the little dot thingies over there.
These
Or I'm
ones?
sorry, bottom left, sorry. Wrong part of the map.
Oh, there we go. Look at it.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
Now you can see it.
Oh goodness sake.
Look
Oh,
at how neat that
ooh,
place is.
And it's huge too. Like I think that's
neat.
what they said. It was a former, uh, an airplane port. But basically, like this is their observation tower, temporarily closed, obviously for what I said. But I mean, these are the restaurants over here. There's the Senate, the Brown Dog Cafe, Sugar and Spice Diner. And across the area over here, there's a place called the Golden Spoon, which is an ice cream place. So it is pretty nice.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Speaking of ice cream places, there was a place called the Marble Slab here once upon a time. Well, okay, it
mm,
wasn't here. You had to drive to the city about an hour away to get to it. It was the best ice cream out there. They
And Theo lives in Mulberry,
I live in the sticks,
Mayberry.
and I love living in the sticks. My neighbors are way over there across a field somewhere. My other neighbors are way over there across the
Yeah.
field somewhere.
uh,
And yeah, it's fantastic.
goodness sake. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
just get the people away.
put him somewhere else. Oh, that's the ice rink is here. I guess it's in the middle of
Oh,
this.
it's even got a little pond right over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
can see it looks like it used to be an airfield.
yeah.
You can
But
see the
yeah,
runways there, or what's left of them anyway, and turned into parking spaces.
yeah. But yeah, I like going. That's where that taco place is at, and I like going to it. But yeah, it's just a nice place to go. I took pictures before loving love living in BFE. Well, there you go. Because he lives in Arizona. Dash. Um, but I wouldn't be able to live in Arizona though because that's like triple digit weather. It's so
Arizona's too hot. I
it's
like
too
where
hot.
I am because sure it gets really hot, and then it gets really really cold, and then we have all four seasons within one day. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not super hot, and it's not super cold
Hmm.
ever.
Yeah.
Well, will you live like up in the mountains or below the mountains?
No, I live in the valley.
Oh, the valley of the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness sake! There's like a every time you wake up, it's like, well, in the valley of the shadow of death. I
See, the only downside is a lot of times, like things like snow, it hits the mountains, and then we
yeah
don't get a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
So that's like the only downside to this, but the climate is very temperate. So
it's like where I'm at in Indiana. The temper is very temperate, but the only unfortunate thing is that we get the uh, lake effect snow, which is so nice. Um, but yeah, because this winter it was like there was one point where it got down to like -10. I'm like, oh man,
-10. Jeez, that's too
Ah,
cold for me.
oh god, it gets so cold to the point that your car may not work. That's how cold it can
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Sucks. But it was only brief though. It was only brief, and then like probably around March or late February, it was like spring.
I
I
mean,
don't.
we'll get down to single digits, but not negatives.
Oh yeah, it's not fun. I mean, at least it's better than living in Alaska. But I mean, when you can't start your car, that's when you know it's like I'm gonna have to call off today.
Yeah, Alaska is really, really cold. I've got a specialized jacket for that place
is
when
it
I
the
was up
Mister?
there.
Is it the Mister Puff jacket?
It is. It is Air Force issued
Oh,
puff jacket. So
Oh,
where'd you get that
Air
from?
Force
when
issued.
I was in the Air Force,
Oh, oh, man, I know so many people who are either former or current military. It's no joke. No joke. I
that
probably
place
know.
is very cold. And my brief stay, I am glad it was brief. I
It
don't
was,
ever want to go back.
yeah, because it was funny enough. I was talking to a lady who lives in Alaska, and of course, Alaska man Jeff too. That because there was some video I saw on YouTube where this guy was going around these abandoned, not abandoned places, like these low living places. Like there's a military base in Alaska where it's a living
Yeah.
apartment building, and then underground you can go to the school across the way. And it's sort of like this. It was a former military base long ago. I can't remember what it
Oh,
was, but it was just interesting to learn about those sort of things because it does get freezing cold. It does like -50 plus wind chill sort of thing cold. Um,
right.
I don't know how those people survive up there.
I don't know either
Like
because
they're superhuman or something.
oh goodness, I don't know about superhuman though. That may be something
I
else.
feel like you gotta be. I mean, you get used to it after you're there for a hot minute, but
Yeah,
it's still just one of those things. Is like just thinking about it later. It's like, how do you people survive?
yeah. I wouldn't want to be the what is it? The standstill the living statue. I wonder if they have a living statue. You know how you see those people be
Yeah.
like uh, cop or whatever. Uh, I wonder if they have someone who's like that at the in Alaska, because that would be the worst worst place to do it. Oh, there's Tim. Oh, he's just thawing out. Oh, almost knocked my mic over.
Oh, we
Um,
almost lost everything. Dara almost fell. This whole
spend
setup went.
spend lots of time indoors drinking. I wouldn't. I couldn't even do that. I don't. Drinking is. I don't drink at all. I was once offered, like, when it was
Oh,
my 21st birthday. I was offered wine. Yeah, it was wine. I was offered for my 21st birthday. I just don't, because I've seen a lot of different people who have issues with moderating themselves, and they fail at that
yeah.
word. And so it's one of those things where I'm like, no, it just doesn't turn out well for majority of people. So I know there's some people like, well, I drink just fine. I'm responsible. Yes, but you're you. Try doing 1,000 other people that aren't you. You know, I mean, they
Yeah,
Yeah.
have.
I mean, they have Alcoholics Anonymous for a reason, people.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
really drink
Mm.
much anymore either, so
and the
My
funny.
husband and I are both wine drinkers and really enjoy it, but we're far beyond the days of ever considering, getting drunk ever.
Mm,
It's not interesting
well,
anymore.
I prefer wine over everything else now. I don't know if that's just my older age or what, but
you
Could be.
you like the finer things in life, Co.
I
That's why
do,
you
I
have a.
do.
Yeah.
I can't afford them that often, but when I do, I enjoy every second of it.
Hey, Bryce. But
Uh,
but yeah, no, yeah, I've seen that too. Alcohol's poison for some people. But no, the funniest thing is, I used to work at a what is it? I used to work at a nonprofit organization. I won't say the name because I don't know if I'll get in legal trouble. But I used to work at a nonprofit organization, and oh, thank you, Isabella. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for that. Um, but I also had a new emoji added too, which is like sunglasses. Oh, hold on. Let me. Nope, it's not there. Where is that? Where are my emojis? Oh, there it is. There we go. That's my emoji right there. My new emoji. The sunglasses. Look at that. Someone actually made that. So funny thing, someone actually made that for me after my Pay It Forward stream. So that one's a freebie. And thank you to Send D for that. That was pretty awesome. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I used to work for a nonprofit organization, and they would host not they would have a AA group come in and use one of their rooms to do their thing. It was a very big event. But the funniest thing I saw with the event is that they would usually have a bunch of smokers there. And I was like, okay, so you're having these people come, right? And they're trying to get out of their habit of drinking, whatnot, all the sport and stuff. But you have a lot of them turn to smoking. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
but you're kind of just trading one obsession for another there, and I'm just like, what is that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I get
oh, thank
that.
you. Yeah, it was just like you saw a bunch of people like when they were on break for like their event. You see like a bunch of them outside smoking. It's like, okay, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're in a thing that's supposed to be giving up something that's you're wanting to give up. Like a vice, and yet you're changing to another vice. I'm like, I'm not sure how this works.
Yeah. It's addictive personalities.
That is true, and thank you, Colton, for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's always a weird things. Like you try to leave one thing, and then you end up accepting another vice, which is always that weird scenario. Again, using the AA stuff, and I was just like, that is just I don't understand it at all. But yeah, I've worked at a few uh uh not a non-for-profit companies, no, what are you, companies, organizations, right,
Yeah.
organizations. And funny enough that the one um that I used to work at, the building for it got demolished not too long ago, but they couldn't, so they it got shut down during the oh, hey Tommy, how are you? They got shut down during the COVID because they just, during those tough times, sort of thing. But yeah, it's a sad event when that thing happens. But yeah. You wouldn't believe what I told you, but I used to do custodial work, so I've seen the dirty side of life. And yes, women can be as dirty or dirtier than men. I've seen it and I've cleaned it up. All right.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I've done the janitorial type thing at one
Mm.
point in time for a hot second. The women's bathroom is atrocious.
Oh
It sure
goodness,
can be.
I used to.
I did not look. I fully expected there to be a couch in there because that's what the TV told me. It was going to be nice, immaculate. It's going to be a
uh,
couch in there, maybe a soda machine or something. I don't know.
Depends on the
And
place.
then I went in there, and it is like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, were you working at a school?
Um, no, I worked at Walmart and I worked at McDonald's
Oh,
back when I
Walmart.
was in high
Okay.
school.
oh
Well,
wow.
I mean, I was in school at the time. It was when I was in high school,
Mm.
and yeah, so I saw those two
Yeah, Walmart
bathrooms.
bathrooms are a
And,
disaster.
I thought the men's wasn't that great, right?
Mm.
And it always smells funny and stuff. But then when I went to clean the women's for the first time, holy snap!
Yeah.
The men's is immaculate at that point.
Yeah.
Get a Walmart bathroom anyway.
Yeah. The what happened was is that we didn't have any female staff to clean the women's locker room, and there were two separate locker rooms. One was like mothers and daughters, and then some was like known as like the Olympic women's locker room, for the older women. But sometimes parents, mothers would bring their daughters with them, that sort of thing. And so since they didn't have any females to clean the locker rooms during the day, I had to wake up earlier in order to get there before they opened. So I would be in there cleaning and all that stuff. And let me tell you, you ladies, you will. There's a reason why clogs drain. Okay, um, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And not to get like to the nitty gritty of like self care and sanitary and all that, sanitary napkins and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, though, yeah, if I were to take a gander at the men's locker room and then the women's locker room, the women's would be a bit dirtier every time, and it's just yeah, it's nothing against all women, obviously, but there are some women that like to
Yeah.
mess it up, unfortunately. But yeah, it was fun times. I had to wake up at like 3 something in the morning to get there to get it done before 5:30 in the morning because there was no females to clean it up. So, and it
Yeah, for sure. Some people are getting raised in a barn.
well,
Oh gosh, yeah. People are raised in barns around here. Anyway, uh,
there was a new calf born, and my son was born too. Why are you holding the calf though? Oh, dang it! Or drain, do clogs drain or drains clog? You know what? If you're gonna put this paradoxical crap in my in my chat, I don't.
clogs drain.
Yes,
Yes, clogs drain. That sounds like the right emphasis is on the right syllable.
yeah. I'm gonna start getting to like what is it? Dialectic, diatribe or whatever it is in this chat. Now it's gonna be very formal. We're gonna start reading from the Encyclopedia Britannica.
So, does anybody play Baldur's Gate 3?
No,
I need a
Is
fourth,
it
damn
good?
it.
why do you need a fourth?
Because we need a fourth.
But that doesn't that's like answer a child gives. Why do you need a fourth?
Because there's four people.
Th-
The party has four people in it, and I've got three.
But can you play it without four people though?
Well, yeah. I mean, somebody has to deal with the NPC, but
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that PC based? That's a
Yeah,
PC game, right? Yeah.
it's a PC and console, and their last patch just launched crossplay.
mm,
Mm.
nice. Because I know there's some other places that do crossplay too, like Fortnite. I know is one that does crossplay. Um, oh, what's another one? There's some of the free to play ones are crossplay too. Like I think like what is that one? Apex. I think Apex is another one.
I think a
Warframe
lot
is
of a lot of those free shooters are.
yeah. I couldn't. I may have looked at it. I think the only free one I've played is Fortnite, but even then, I'm just, I don't even play that much
We
anymore.
keep
So,
trying to talk Meg into playing, but she won't touch it.
does she say why is she not a gamer?
uh, no, Meg plays all the time. It's mediocre gamer girl.
I know that. I know she plays
She's
games.
not a gamer. I mean, well, she's mediocre.
It's in the name.
It's in the name, yeah.
Goodness, but yeah, I can understand that though. I just don't really have much of time to play any games anymore.
Yeah,
Even on the
it's hard to
weekend,
get to it. So
yeah,
Chance is pretty strictly PlayStation.
like
Currently, it's Assassin's Creed.
oh, the
Ugh.
new one.
Yeah, the new one.
What are the thoughts
Pretty
so far?
interesting to watch. I mean, it's like sometimes things that people say are negative about a games actually makes them a little bit more interesting and kind of like funny
Hmm.
and more entertaining.
Right. Yeah,
yeah, I
because
just don't care for Ubisoft games anymore.
yeah, and that's
I
understandable. The
know a
whole
lot of people feel that way. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they don't put the care into it that other developers do with their games. I guess is the best way to put it.
Hmm.
Because
Well,
I
I
mean,
have
once
heard
you've
great
been in
things
one
about Baldur's
fortress,
Gate.
you've been in
Yeah.
all the fortresses there. Because it's the same thing. And I have an issue with the RPG elements
Hmm.
of it because it shouldn't be there. But I
Yeah.
You're
haven't
not
really
wrong
cared
about the
for
fortresses. They
Assassin's
look pretty
Creed in a
same.
hot minute.
Yeah.
So Chance has this really funny way of playing where no matter what character asks him to, have like a spicy time, he says yes.
And
It
Baldur's
makes
Gate
for the
has a
funniest
lot of
gameplay.
those options.
His character's just a big hoe.
Hey, I would play The Witcher 3 and you could get down and dirty. They wouldn't show the full thing, but
Well, yeah, they don't show a lot.
yeah. But Witcher 3 you could go to the what is that one place? You could put the Passe L'Oreal or something like that and you could just hire a different woman every time. You have elves, you have
Yeah.
regular human women. It's just goodness sake. Um
The Witcher 3 was good.
Yes, I did hear they're gonna try to remake the first one because I mean graphically it is behind.
Yeah, they're remaking it for modern audiences.
We'll see how
They're
modern
gonna
it
take
gets.
out all the bad stuff that they don't like anymore.
Well, you didn't really
So,
get to see anything because it was cards. Like the first one,
yeah,
it
well,
just
they're
had like the
taking it
cards.
all out. So, or at least that was the last I heard because they done said they were going to. So,
Right.
and it's been
Well,
a hot minute since I've heard anything about it.
yeah. Well, the only thing
And
they
then
did show was the
they're working on that new
Witcher
Witcher.
4, yeah, with
So
Siri, which is kind of dumb because the games themselves take. So if you've never done the audiobooks or read the
they're gonna
books themselves,
bastardize the lore for it. I guarantee it.
that
Yeah.
well it doesn't the games have nothing to do with the lore itself because it already takes place after the story. Like it takes after the Lady of the Lake. Because at the end of the Lady of the Lake book, Ciri is in the world of Camelot and all that stuff, where
Well,
she
yeah,
was.
Ciri is very powerful, and
Yeah,
Ciri is very interesting as a character.
yeah,
But the thing is, they're not going to explore it. They're going to bastardize the lore of The Witcher to put Ciri in as a Witcher
yeah,
when there's no need for it. They could have done a story about Ciri and made it fantastic.
yeah. Because she's the
But they're
lady of.
obsessed with making her into a Witcher
Mhm.
when there's no reason for it, nor can they.
Right.
So,
Hmm.
Well, she was
lore
straight.
wise,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, and again, this is.
That's
Oh, go ahead.
no, I mean, like that's the problem with it. Like, I have no problem with a Siri or a Witcher game starring Siri.
Mhm,
You get to play with her in 3, and she
mhm,
is badass.
mhm.
The problem is they're going to butcher her and downgrade her and make her weak as shit just to fulfill this fantasy of having, so they can run around and say the first female Witcher, when in lore it's not even possible. So
They did try to though, but they knew they couldn't, and they didn't. I think they didn't end up wanting to make two anyway because again, she is the lady of time and space. Is
I know.
basically what her title is.
Hmm.
For those who don't know, I mean, Zio and
Don't.
I
Yeah,
know.
like Siri is OP as fuck.
Don't.
Yeah,
let's
she is.
let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Siri is like, oh, when she develops as a character and stuff and starts to
Yeah.
learn how to use her stuff
Mm.
and all that good stuff, she gets OP real quick.
The only thing I know
Well,
about the
it's not
Witcher
real
is
quick,
Henry
but
Cavill
it's
has
over
big
time.
arms.
Well, the funny thing is that the first season of The Witcher was great. Like, yeah, you may have these minor instances here and there, but they were so minor that, I mean, because
Yeah.
do you not remember that the song "Toss a Coin to Your Witcher" was
Oh, it
so
was viral.
it was so viral that
Mhm.
you could hear it almost everywhere. I mean, people were making their own covers and all this sort of stuff. The first season blew it up, and then they just kind of went downhill from there because they kept
Yeah.
messing things up. Like they
Well,
did,
yeah, they wanted to focus more on Yennefer and Ciri,
yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that, but we were there to watch Geralt. I'm sorry.
Well,
Obviously, everyone
Yeah.
was.
I mean, and again, the first book, The Last Wish, does involve Yennefer, but it's mostly about Geralt and himself, of course, with Dandelion or what is the word, Buttercup, translated from the Polish, but I say Dandelion because it's in that flowery wordplay sort of thing.
Sounds
Um,
close enough.
yeah, Dandelion, Buttercup, or Yaskir. That's right, Yaskir's the name, but you know how it is. Um, and all that sort of stuff in that journey of that, but it's not until it becomes to the Witcher saga that you do get this, interloping back and forth between Geralt and Ciri. And don't get me wrong, the series does go pretty far during the Witcher saga. And this is stuff that involves Ciri. So, hold your breath, okay? Um, but the point of the matter is that the you're not always going to get something like the books. Obviously, they always change to a degree, but
Yeah.
after the first season, they kind of went downhill because they really weren't at least keeping to anything similar in the books. Because it's like even the stuff with the witches themselves, they kind of changed because in the books, Askel, Lampert, who was the other one? No, it was Leo. No, it wasn't Leo. Was it? There's Eskel, Eskel Lampert Vesemir, and a young one living at Kaer Morhen. But that was it. There was no more than those other ones. I can't remember his name to be honest, but in the show they show like there's like 10 or 11 like living in a Kaer Morhen. It's like it's practically empty. I mean the barely they ever have someone visit like
Colin?
Colin, I think that was it, right? No, Cohen.
Cohen. It
Cohen, yeah.
starts with a K or a C, something like
C.
that.
Yeah, it starts with a C. But it was
I'm trying to think. It's been so long.
yeah. I mean the only other person they have come there is not Yennefer, it's Triss. Triss is the only other person I know of that has come to Kaer Morhen other than the other witches. But again, it's usually not very much, but in the show they show there's like a bunch of them. It's like they're kind of splintered and stuff because they're less and less over time because no one's doing the trial to create more, and even then the trials,
Well,
very
see, the
chaotic.
writers want to do their own thing.
Yeah,
And then, gosh, what's the actor's name again? Cavill.
Cavill.
He wants to stay true to the lore.
Yeah, and they
And
tried
that
to.
was the disconnect right there. So the
Yeah.
writers wanted to make it their own
Mhm.
thing. Cavill was like, no, we need to stick to the lore.
Mm,
And that's why there was a divide between Cavill and the writers.
mm.
And why Cavill isn't the Witcher anymore.
Yeah.
So,
It was I think it was at one point where he did that whole roach thing, because obviously we all know that the Geralt just picks a horse and calls him Roach, and that's that. It doesn't stay the same horse every time. But it was that whole, speech that they gave he gave to Roach that was dying, and it was just like, I think it was at that point, like, there was just stuff behind the scenes that made it hard for him to continue. Because you're right, it was the director, because the director was female, and they
Um,
really just kind of went off.
yeah, and that's one of the biggest issues too with a lot of this stuff
Mm,
is the fact that they want to go do their own thing because they want to make it their own. The
mm,
problem is it's not theirs
Yeah.
to do.
yeah,
So, it's one thing to tell the story and to stay as close to the lore as possible. And we know, with live action stuff like that, nothing's ever going to be perfect.
yeah,
But it's the fact that we're
Yeah.
in this day and age where everybody wants to make it their own, which
yeah.
is why we're going to have Serious Witcher and this new Witcher game that nobody's really going to care about from the hardcore Witcher fandom. And then they're going to blame it on, those toxic white males or something
Mm,
if it bombs. The
yeah.
problem is they could do the story that people want. They just refuse to do it.
Or work it to the
So,
way that people
These
can
people
understand.
aren't interested in the source material. They just
yeah.
they're not fans. They don't care.
No, it's like when STD had its whole thing and bombed horribly. STD? You don't know what STD is?
No, that's why I'm
Don't know
looking.
STD?
At, what was
All
that?
right. STD or Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's why I didn't get it, because I don't.
I
I think
mean,
you're talking like
it was an
just
STD on the Star Trek thing, so
Night chapters log.
the abbreviation just fit
Yeah,
so great, even though they don't want you to use that abbreviation.
yeah. It'll be
It fits it well
it'll be that thing
because
where oh god.
I think it was that one that they said that they had brought people in
Mm,
to make sure they didn't mess up the lore or something of Star Trek,
mm.
and then
yeah.
they immediately went and messed up the lore of Star Trek. It's like,
Yeah.
didn't you hire somebody to prevent this from happening? Like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah.
Theoretically,
And
I gave up on Star Trek a while back.
Well, they have yet to make it a good Star Trek since Enterprise. So
Well, okay, so you watched Enterprise. I liked Enterprise a lot,
yeah,
mm,
and
Enterprise to a certain extent,
yeah. Well, I mean,
because
it
they
kind of
did
fell
do
apart,
some
but
things that really messed up the lore,
mm,
yeah,
like the whole last few seasons where they had that whole
yeah,
war with whatchamacallit, and Earth got shot up, and it's like I don't remember any of that in the Star Trek lore. Guys, did we forget
yeah.
we have lore to follow?
They
Well,
did.
But
It really did kind of fall apart towards the end, but
yeah, but other than that,
the
I thought it was a
reception
good
that it
series.
got from people initially, I didn't understand, and I just like, I was kind of done by the end of it.
mm,
And I'm not gonna get involved in this anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely had some of my favorite people though now, because Trip is probably my favorite
Yeah,
engineer ever.
Mm.
And the way they did him dirty. And I
they
can't
did.
believe
It
they
seemed
did
like they
that.
set out like they were gonna kill off Trip at some point from day one.
Wow.
Gosh, I wish they didn't, because Trip was the best. And I really wanted Trip and T'Pol to get together. So,
I was
that
so
was
tired of the back and forth with that. Of just like,
and
what
the
is
fact
the
that they
problem? Just be in
teased
a
it so
relationship.
much,
Yes.
and then they saw the future Enterprise, and they were, and it's like that's their
Yes.
future, and then you kill off my boy. You
Yeah.
killed
And
him
then
off,
just kill
guys.
him off.
Is that the one you talking about, the one where they what was that one guy that was in it? It's just called Enterprise, and they had one episode where they found the Borg in like Antarctica, and they had to go through like
Yeah, because they had to put the Borg, even though the Borg was not a thing at that point in time, because
well,
somebody
Yeah.
felt the need. They had to do a Borg episode.
that was
And it's
from the
like,
movie though, because that was that point, I can't remember which
so
one.
so
First
yeah, I think they
Contact.
tied
Yeah.
it in with First Contact, I
Yes. Yep.
guess,
Yes. That's what
which
they were doing.
wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I don't quite remember that episode that vividly, so I can't really comment further on that. My favorite Star Trek has always been Voyager, because I'm one of those outliers where
Yeah.
everybody hates Voyager.
Yeah.
But I think them going across the Delta Quadrant and being, having to flirt with the fact that they've got the Prime Directive, and if they continue to stay with the Prime Directive, it could get them killed at any moment, kind of deal, was
Mm,
just a great, great thing for them to do.
yeah.
And then they had Deep Space Nine, and that one was boring to me.
Yeah, I thought
I
Deep
would
Space
rather
Nine was
have
boring.
the Next Generation again and have another season of that or something.
Oh, didn't Next Generation go for like 10-ish years?
They all went pretty long. So, because we had the original series, right? And then you had the Next Generation. That
Mm,
ended. And then they had Voyager. And then
mm,
Deep Space Nine launched somewhere alongside Voyager because then they had crossovers
yeah. Yeah.
occasionally.
Hmm.
And then um,
I think the
was the Next Generation, like the tail end of Next Generation, I think also, maybe? I don't quite
Yeah.
remember.
mm,
And then we had Enterprise, which went all the way back to the very first Enterprise that we
yeah.
launched, which before we had any other ships really. So it was the NX class,
Mm,
which was an interesting thing because, it felt like it was definitely not as advanced as what we're used to, but advanced enough.
yeah.
And then we had Discovery, where they just decided, I know there's lore, but we don't give a fuck. We're going to
Yeah.
make it up. In fact, we're going to rewrite the lore to
Mm,
put this one person completely in charge and make her the hero of absolutely everything that she was never ever involved with.
Uh, I don't know how you even watch that show.
see, you
It
got
was
another fan
hard.
there.
It was
Look,
hard.
look at
I'm
Oh,
her.
not
hey,
enough of a
somebody else
complete
loves
fan.
Voyager too. Yes.
Woo!
Janeway for the win. Anyway.
But yeah, no, it's I just remember back in the day because I think one of one- one of the characters I liked, but is so out of context for what they have was Q, right?
Oh, Q has
Yeah.
always been a great, great character because he was in the Next Generation. He was in Voyager.
Deep
And
Space
just the fact that
Nine,
Q can be a reoccurring person
yeah,
that you can anchor to,
yeah,
and it was great. I loved it.
yeah,
And the Q was
I was
just
too.
great for random out of pocket, adventures that you
yeah.
normally couldn't do. So
Yeah, but that's one of the because I remember I can't remember what it was, but there was a box set or something where someone you could get like just where Q was, like there's box set that you could just get the episodes he appeared in like the first and next
Oh yeah.
generation and all that stuff.
yeah, he
But
was the pilot episode of the Next Generation, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So
and
because they threw him out, and that's how they discovered the Borg. And
yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry, what are those?
yeah. He kind of gave him a future look at these creatures far deep in space, and then of course he ran across that. They run across the Borg. It was it the second time around. So the first time was an episode of Star Trek Next Generations, but the second time was the movie Insurrection. No, what was that? It was the one where they ran into the Borg, and there's like the Queen Borg person or whatever.
And that was
Yeah, I
introduced in
remember.
Voyager, I believe, wasn't it?
No,
The
no, no.
Queen.
The Next Generation. They
It was a
saw.
movie.
Yeah, there was the movie, and then there was the first episode where Captain Picard got captured by the Borg or got traded to the Borg.
Yeah.
That was in the TV show.
Locutus of Borg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was in the TV show, and then they had the
The
comeback with
you got First Contact and
yeah, and then there was one
what
either
was the
after.
other one?
Yeah, that's the one I can't remember, but it was the
I
one
can't
where
remember either. There
it,
was several movies, so it's hard to remember.
no, no, that's it. The First Contact is where it's
Was
from.
it First Contact?
Yeah, First Contact
Okay.
was because I remember distinctly because they had to leave their ship. What was it? They had to leave their ship in space, and they got attacked by the Borg because how it started was that the Borg sphere ejected from the Borg, and then First Contact. Yeah, so Abe was right. First Contact because they had to chase it to the Earth, but they went back in time. All that stuff. It's weird how they use time travel in Star Trek, and yeah,
Oh yeah, because that's when they went back and
yeah,
they worked with Cochrane
Yeah.
yeah.
and developed warp drives, and then at near the end he meets the
The Vulcans.
Vulcans. I
Yep.
was about to say Romulans, and I was like,
Yeah.
somebody's going to set me on fire if I said that. Definitely not the Romulans.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's such a long. Well, I had a former aunt. She's still alive, but messy stuff. She was a big fan of the books and the movies and all that. So I've lived a little bit of that. But I was a kid just watching Star Trek Generations. Is like like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever that would come on my station, and then of course you had what's his name. LaForge. He played LaForge. What was his name? Jordy. He played Jordy. Uh, I can't. I'm trying to think of his
LeVar
name.
Burton.
That's LeVar Burton. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm
LeVar
not going to
Burton.
know the actor name. I know
Yeah,
their stage names.
because LeVar
I'm bad
Burton.
with actor names.
Same. Or you. It's been such a long time, but LeVar Burton was in Reading Rainbow, and in one episode of
Yeah.
Reading Rainbow, they had a behind the scenes
Yeah.
of what they did for Star Trek Generations. So it's like you had that sort of you had that sort of a deal where he would show back, and this is how we do the change thing when we transport people. It's like, what? Oops.
I'm not too sure about teleportation.
I'm back.
Oh, does your thing do the thing where at about 2 hours it
Yeah.
kicks you out and you have to reload?
Yep. I should have looked at.
Mine does that too.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
already tried to give him stuff on that, and I put everything back.
Okay, well, I filled it out on your little survey. That was like my biggest issue
Oh yeah, don't believe me. I've given that information before to Bumble
because it does
before.
that to me regularly when we have ours. Is like somewhere around 10:05 or something. I have to
Yep.
reload the whole thing, so I'm gone for a second.
Yeah, but it's random. It's like after 2 hours, yes, but then after that's like, when is it gonna come? Like the
Yeah,
last
it's not always just the 2 hour mark. It's like, is it the 2:05, the 2:06, maybe 2:10?
I had it happen last time at like last night was at like 2:58, and I was like, dang it, so close. But it's like after a certain point, because before then it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing at Rumble Studio, and then all of a sudden, after a certain point in time,
It
it
was
became a
one of the
thing.
updates. It became a thing. Yeah. But anyway, I do have to go, guys.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
fine.
I was
Come on.
gonna say it's getting past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, I'm
Mine
just gonna
too.
start closing
You
up.
know.
So we're gonna do the self promotion stuff, and then we're gonna close out and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start with, I don't know if Toasty's still there or not, so we'll see if she comes back. But we're gonna start with the other lady who's here, Base Comic. So go ahead.
And this is like a wrap up, promotion of the hour. Yes, I am looking for more subscribers to our Rumble channel, so maybe we can start getting on that creator program.
Go.
We are Based Comic everywhere, and it's Based Comic on Rumble. It's basedcomic.substack.com is where our newsletter is, and Based Comic on Twitter. And we're also on TikTok, where for the last week, people have been sending me harassing, angry notes.
What?
You can
Well, you
join in
must be
the
doing
fray if
something right.
yeah, that's what I think too. You can
Goodness.
join in the fray over at TikTok, but we usually get a very happy reception over on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you can find us.
Wow, that sucks though. But I mean, it's not out of the norm, unfortunately. Oh, there he goes.
Eh,
He'll be back.
no, I don't
He'll.
mind it. I mean, I have a lot of people like, oh, look at that ratio. Aren't you humiliated? And I'm like, I really didn't come here expecting agreement. That's not what I thought I was going to get out of TikTok.
Hello, Zio. How did your flight of fancy work?
Thing just now.
I was like, they beamed him up. Scotty, bring him back.
No, my
Finally
thing
happened.
was like, gotta refresh the page.
Yeah,
Like,
I
thanks.
forgot to take a picture of it, but yeah, it sucks when it happens. But all right, and of course, Base Comic. Their links are down below, so if you want to go see what they're about and all that stuff, it's there. And if they're worth a follow, why not? Right? Like I can't. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna force people to say, yeah, you should follow them. I'm gonna say, you know what? If their work provides that you want to follow, why not? And Zio, if you want to go.
All right, well, I'm Zio. I talk about gaming news and occasionally play video games. No, wait, it's nerd news and occasionally play video games. Anyway, the point is, I do stuff and I talk about video games mostly. Every Friday, I host Gaming with a Side of Salt with my co hosts, D-Pad Chad and Meg, where we
Uh,
rant about whatever the week news is, or the week's
uh,
news for video games and other nerd related topics.
mm-hmm.
Um, I am findable over on Twitter at ZeoTGT. Everywhere else is pretty much some variant of Zeo Gaming / Zeo Gaming TGT. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, mainly Rumble.
Mm,
And I've got a Twitch that gets one person to watch it every time we stream. There is one person, let me tell
nice.
you, one person, about 10 minutes or
Yeah.
so after we start, shows up and just watches. They lurk all the time. You're amazing, whoever you are. Thank you. Anyway, uh, so yeah, links, of course, always in the description down below. And if you
Yep.
want to catch anybody else, their links are down there too, of course. Um, I
Why
think
you,
that was it. Was that
what?
it?
Why are you taking my
No,
stuff
deep.
from me? You could just say
Oh,
your links are down
sorry.
below.
I'm used to doing it on my end. I say the same thing.
And that's the end of the
Deep Pat's
show.
a great guy
Listen,
too.
listen. Your link's also in my description.
And that's
Deep
the end of
Pat
this.
also worth a follow.
And that's
Deep
the
Pat Chat.
yeah. Deep Head Chat is a pretty cool dude. The duo of trouble right there. Deep Head
Yeah,
Chat and
he's been
Zio.
streaming
Yeah.
this whole time. So.
Then you're like, hey, guess what? I was on another show. How about that?
Well, he wanted me to join him, and I was like, I can't. I got to play with Dara tonight. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that phrasing right there alone is gonna cost you something.
Eh,
I don't think I want any part of that situation right there. But anyway, of course, and also I don't. I'm guessing she's not coming back up, but Toasty Stuff links is down below, both on Rumble and on YouTube because I do stream to both arenas. So there
did we
is
do
that.
a reset?
Yeah.
Just
Me
about.
too.
Um, but anyway, for my end of
Rumble.
thing,
That's an issue. Fix it.
Yeah.
now would be preferable, but I know you're trying to get other stuff done, so maybe a little quicker on some things. But anyway, for my end of stuff, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment, or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be seen, like these guys want to be seen a lot here too. All right, it's just a part of it. But also it helps with having other people on, like these wonderful people, and of course, like some of the people who've been in chat tonight, and so many others. Again, I'm almost to my 200th guest. Find out who it is next week. But yes, any help with the engagement factor on either end is much appreciated. Link down below has my Twitter X, has my email, all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, every bit helps, and I appreciate you all. Of course, I am still, again, until the 23rd, I'm still doing the creator and viewer survey. These are for the perspective of what people have on Rumble, whether it be issues or wish list stuff. At the end of the day, uh, no, remove that. There we go. At the end of the day, um, I do these things. I'll be doing these things every month just to try to find that data, and then that data will be, you guys will be able to see visual data of what people are saying instead of giving feedback to Rumble and not getting very much of anything at all other than maybe tech updates and quarterly reports or whatever. At the end of the day, these it's just me trying to give something back because I know people need to see something. I know people rely on like small voices out there that will be, they'll think is the majority of issue, whatever. And if you saw my last month's survey, you'll see that some things were more than others, and maybe you'll agree with it, maybe you won't, but that is the data I'm going for. And of course, here's the viewer one as well. Again, every bit counts, whether you consider yourself a viewer, a creator, or viewer, or both, because sometimes a creator does view people as well, just because they're nice. I try my best. But anyway, every bit counts, and of course, like I said earlier, I am part of Proton's partner program, I'm just promoting a product I use and believe in it and know that it can be beneficial for those who are very into security or privacy of stuff. Again, base comic, as earlier says, she uses it the free version. Obviously, I use a paid version because you can do a bit more. But at the end of the day, it's just about a product that is trying to. It's based in Switzerland, so they have very strict privacy laws. They're trying to um, create this thing that is beneficial for many, and like scammer, you can use alias emails for the proton mail. They have other products too, but I'm just talking on the mail part. That you can have alias emails. You don't have to use your real email. You can they also in help prevention of scammer stuff, and of course they clean like promo emails and stuff people get, like, oh, here's this product, whatever. They clean off the email trackers on that because, again, companies, that's how they do their thing and all that stuff. I know I'm not explaining this well, but I'm part of the partner program, and we'll see how long I last in it. So we'll see if they'll keep me or not after a month. But anyway, any of all this stuff is not for the money. It's just for to try it out, because it's like with the creator program. I just went in to try it out, and so far, I'm still here to some degree. So I like the who's got the barkers.
That's me. I gotta
Okay.
go.
Okay. But anyway, that we'll quickly go out. But anyway, again, next week's schedule is going to be out. Next week's schedule is going to be out tomorrow, and of course, Rumble Squared, and of course, the seeing of the survey results and all that stuff will be on the 26th with a bunch of other people. Got D-pad on there too, so look out for that. But anyway, I end out. I'm not gonna do the questions this time because I know people gotta go. So we're gonna end out with "One Day with You" by Pogo. Thank you all so much who came in the chat. I want to thank all my guests as well for coming on as well. Again, I'm moving Dara's Hangout Den to every 4 months because scheduling is a challenge, and I need to take something off the plate, and Dara's Hangout Den is going to be that thing. So it's just going to be every 4 months. But at the end of it all, I appreciate you all. I thank you all, and I will see you next time. All right, "One Day with You"
Bye.
by Pogo. Oh, see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Okay, here we go.
All you have to do is knock. All you have to do is knock.
Okay, here we go.